All right, I'm Jay Stone. Welcome to 2018, the first show of the year. We got a lot of things to talk about. That was Davey Suicide, Kids of America. And speaking of Davey Suicide, we are putting together a compilation CD. He's one of the artists on there, so he gave us the track Torture, and we'll be releasing that sometime in March, late February. But we also have Yoshi here. He's been traveling around the United States, doing shows everywhere. I think you gone to Canada too?
I'm like, Canada's going to have to pay me a lot of money to go see them.
Can't get across the border.
It's true, those guys.
That's funny. But yeah, Yoshi's going to be part of the compilation CD as well. He put a track on there, so I'm working on all the artwork and putting it together. We got Eric Rogers from Stereo Mud and Dangerous New Machine. One of the members from Fear Factory is on there. A former Marilyn Manson member who is pretty close to the show, Dave from White Trash. So we got a bunch of people on there in hopes to promote some new music and some stuff that's already been out there. But welcome back to the show, man. We got a full house tonight.
Yeah, I've got actually two of my drummers in the United States here with me. Two of my drummers in the state of Florida, actually. Chris Lanier and Ryan Dutton of the Virginia Rose Band.
And we got a bunch of dogs here, too.
And we got the dogs. Turbo the Terrier is here. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. Turbo the Traveling Terrier. What is he on Instagram, Chris?
Traveling Turbo
on Instagram.
And one of my dogs is out back barking away. It's a pain in the ass. There's some water there.
We got a 5-finger death pug in here, too.
5-finger death pug. That's funny. I'm not a big fan of 5-finger death punch, but
that's a good, funny name, though. 5-finger death pug is hilarious. My friend Trish came up with that. It was brilliant. She drew a really cool painting. We stopped in Sebring to visit some friends. They helped fund my tour. I'm going to get started right off here. Everybody told me, why are you going out playing free shows? I'm like, I'm not playing free shows. These bands go around, they play for 50 people, where they get paid $2 a head. It's $100, right? I just had one friend pay me $100 to come out there and play a show. I didn't play a free show. I just came out there, hung out with them, went and played an open mic somewhere. They enjoyed it. We all got drunk, partied the hell out the rest of the night, no stress, no nothing. The stage was already set up. Probably, yeah, party rock on. I didn't play a free show, man. I had a great time. So you guys are missing out if you're not coming out to see me play my shows. So whatever, y'all.
Speaking of shows, what do you got coming up locally around here?
The 12th, we're going to Sarasota. That's not necessarily locally, but if you're asking me, I'm from Washington.
So it's local enough. We got a good fan base.
Down there in Sinister Guitar Pick Land in Sarasota, I'll be playing at Kelly's Live with DigisChrist Superdrome and Cypher Machine. And maybe Shattered, I think. Oh, man, there's a lot of... Shattered played last night at the Psycho Tribe show. That was really cool. Psycho Tribe benefit show at State Theater was awesome. War Lab was there. So, Matty Blunt, if you guys know who that is, he makes cool papers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, I didn't even know what was going on, really. I knew like a couple of weeks ago I seen something, but...
I was like, I gotta be there. So I planned my flight to come in a lot earlier than I had anticipated in the beginning, because I was going to spend more time in Texas, and we were going to drive to Ohio, but that weather was just terrible. So the weather up in Ohio, I was going to go visit my grandmother. My grandmother's up there in Cincinnati, and it just got really bad. So we stayed in Texas where it was 16 degrees.
Yeah, it's definitely cold. I mean, it's been it hit like 32 degrees here the other night, so it's not why I moved to Florida.
It snowed in Florida from what I saw in the news.
Yeah, in Tallahassee.
Panhandle. We don't count that as Florida, though, do we? It's like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. It's like South
Georgia.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. Yeah,
I'll be going to Jacksonville soon, though. We got some power. What do you want to call it? Energy, some support. We have support in Jacksonville coming through, but we're looking for a venue to go play at and find a night to go play. So, and maybe a little extra financial support from the venue for putting on a show on. But we want to go up there and do it. We got some attention, and I might just be flying back out to Texas and driving a '94 old box truck back to Fort Lauderdale for my dad. He wants me to go out there and pick up something for him. I'm like, well, I can go back there and see my stepdad. He's in the hospital doing some stuff. So it's this traveling thing, this tour. I don't know if these other bands, get to do all this awesome stuff, but this is cool, man. I'm having fun on the Never Ending Tour to Save the World tour.
Some bands do. It just depends. I mean, when I was touring with a band, some of the members were so miserable, and I was like, I just got to try to make the best of it. It's not easy, especially when you're doing it with 5 members.
I'll give some insight. I'll give them some insight on how the solo touro goes. Chris follows me in his car, so we go in transit, and we cruise on Walmart to parking lot, and friends parking lot, driveways to driveways, and do our thing, and we keep the energy going every night. If we had like 2 or 3 other bands just following us like a trail, we could really energize a whole network of the United States of America.
Yeah,
but nobody's communicating with each other enough to do that. Where we can actually say, hey, we got some shows that we're doing in the local area next week. Different bands are coming. We're not playing. We're not the best band out there. Just want to let you know we're not the best band out there. We got some awesome artists coming out there next week. They're amazing. You got to see them.
Speak for yourself.
So we got Virginia Rose Band coming out next week after my show. You know what I'm saying? So
we can't get too distracted.
And after they get done playing their show, then they do an announcement saying, "Hey, we got another band coming through." But nobody does that. Nobody really does that pre-announcement. People forget. They get drunk. Oh no, we're still talking about the 12th. We're still in Sarasota. Yeah, we're still doing that.
Don't forget the 13th.
Do you ever get tired of it, or do you say I finally had enough, or you just don't care, and that's what you want to do?
I had a regular job, and if I didn't go to that job, somebody else was going to have to do it for me. So I couldn't take a day off of work. And by doing that for 3 years at AT&T, we're a company, we worked for AT&T. For doing that, I just got that ability to not take a day off. I mean, I did 345 shows in 2016, and it was fun, but we didn't play every single day. We were trying to do 366 days of the year, and unfortunately, my friend Les Baca, not unfortunately, fortunately, awesomely, like most amazingly, Les Baca, I called her on like December 15th, and I was like, "Hey Les, I saw that you're on like day 350 something. It's coming up, your end of the year. You did every single day. I'm so proud of you. You've went out there in the snow. You went out there every single day. You wake up and just go play for someone to make your New Year's resolution. To play for others every single day of the year." And she did that on leap year. And I was like, that's amazing. I tried to do that too, but Chris and I got snowed in Maryland for 6 days.
That's crazy.
And 3 feet of snow right off the bat. We're like, well, screw that. We're going to do something different. So we just played as many shows that we possibly could. So I called him like, I'm trying to play 345 shows this year, Les. I wanted to do 350, but I don't think we're going to be able to make it. So
someone's going off.
She did 366 shows?
She played 366 days in a row. And she did her numbers after the phone call with me, and she's like, I did my numbers, it's like 2 days later. And I was like, yeah, how many shows did you do? Oh, I'm going to be doing 516.
Crazy.
I was like, oh my gosh, she did 516 performances in 2016.
That's crazy.
366 days. And her and I would do 3 shows a day when I'd go visit Colorado. We'd hit up these open mics and just go boom, boom, boom. And she'd drive, so it'd be a lot easier for me to just throw the gear in her car, light gear, and just go play her shows.
I think the most shows I've done in a year is probably 300, and that was grueling.
That's good.
Wow.
Grueling.
That's very impressive.
Grueling.
I'm saying that as a goal.
That's ridiculous. Some were 2 shows a day if we hit like a radio station, or sometimes 3, depending. Yeah. But that band Fozzy, I don't know if you've seen what they recently did, but they flew around.
Yeah, I saw them.
They did like 5 shows in one day all over the country. It was crazy.
I saw them in California at the Aftershock Festival. They were amazing.
When you have a jet to do that, I mean, it makes it a little easier, but that's still 5 shows. It's like,
to make that happen, man.
Yeah. The guitar player Billy Gray, he was in Dangerous New Machine with Eric, who's on the compilation from Stereo Mud. But seems like every band somehow is tied to the show. But you were recording today. Was that something new, or
absolutely? Virginia Rose had recorded a bunch of tracks a few months ago.
We just finished up our album. We're doing
here, Ryan.
We're doing like a gang vocal part, and I was like, I told Yoshi before he came in town, like let's hang out on some non-music stuff, like go to lunch or something like normal people. No, we went to lunch, but then we spent the whole afternoon recording and tracking. I got him to do some vocals on a Virginia Rose Band song.
Nice.
Thanks for feeding him.
Yeah. And I fed him. So.
If you want anything from me, just feed me, guys. Yeah. And really,
musicians, and then you haven't seen each other, and of course, it's going to happen.
And I wanted to be a part of it. Virginia's got an amazing voice, and I love singing with her.
He'd never heard the track before, and I was like, "Here, listen to it." He had the headphones on in the studio the first time I showed him the track, and then
I sang it from my heart.
That's
Yeah.
no, that's cool. I mean, I'm working on some new shit.
That's a
but
message
it's-
to my mom, by the way.
It's hard. It's the guitar players in Texas and shit. So
Yeah.
we're sending ideas back and forth. So it just slows it down. I'm more comfortable in a studio than sitting here trying to write
Ryan had to
lyrics.
wait a couple of years for him to come back to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Here, I got this. I got a minute. Here.
Right.
You actually have to be there. You got to fly in to do that 1
That's
minute.
that's probably what I'm gonna do with this guy is fly in
It's
there.
almost impossible any other way these days.
I've got about 30 workable tracks right now on a hard drive that really needs an Apple computer with GarageBand on it to work on some stuff. And I also have regular isolated sound waves that we used. What was the program we
He's
used?
like being very specific because they're GarageBand files.
GarageBand files, man. We got all these recordings. I can't finalize them until I find another computer engineer to do it. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna get
so
them out there, so.
you recorded like a couple of years ago, and that stuff was lost, right?
I have the hard drive.
You have it.
Yeah, the computer's video card crashed, and the guy was like, I can't use my laptop to get a whole nother laptop or computer to do your project. I'm so sorry. He still hasn't got another computer to replace it. I have his hard drive. I went to Arizona and picked it up from him because he moved from Kansas to Arizona, and that was we had our. Chris drove all the way out. Actually, Chris and Ryan both drove out there to record on that CD. In Kansas.
You should try to get one of these things, man. I thought I lost everything, man. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I found this little fucking thing. I pulled everything out of the external hard drive and popped it in. Everybody's like, it's not gonna work. I got everything. Everything.
But you know what language that computer was speaking. You know what software you were using. You know what's compatible to what. We have a hard drive. We have no idea what it was based on. What
Yeah, that's true, too.
What
That's
language
true.
we was using. We have no idea what we're going to need to get
I
it
hear you.
opened.
I'm sure you can find something. I got this shit going nuts here.
Yeah, it can be done.
So, what are some more of the shows coming up around here? I'm sure
All right,
I'm
so
going
the
to have
next
to
show
hit
that we
one
got
of
on
them
the 13th of January is going to be in Venom's Bar. What is that? Venom's.
Venom.
up. Venom.
What's their
Venom
full bar and grill?
Bar.
Venom's Backroom Bar?
Backroom bar. Not backstage.
Venom's
Confuse it.
Bar and Grill. It's a Venom's Bar and Grill type bar. It's
Yeah, I worked at some shithole right across the street from there.
Patty's a cool person up there. She heard I was coming into town. She was like, "You got to come play my place. Come play." So I'm like, "All right, I'll be there." So she set up a show for me to come out there and play for her. So we put together some shows with Digicry Superdrum.
What
And
day is that? That's
That's a Saturday. Yep. So the 12th we're doing Sarasota, and the 13th we're doing Newport Richie.
I should be able to get there, I think.
Jason, seriously.
But what else has been going on? I mean, how's the road been?
Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. I flew here in an airplane, man.
That's funny.
Okay. So what I got to do is I have to fly back to Texas and then pick up a truck and drive back here. Then after I get done with that truck drop off in Fort Lauderdale with the equipment and stuff for my dad for his business, then I got to fly. He's paying for my flight to California so I can attend the NAMM show for High Tunes. So I can go there and represent the High Tunes thing that we're doing in Washington for the distribution. So if any bands are out there listening that want to get your music onto a free distribution network right now, go to hightunes.com/submissions or submission.
I'll just hit you up.
Submission or submissions. I don't know. If the submission doesn't work, put an S at the end of it. Try again.
How did you find those guys? Because you were on there pretty early, and now there's bands like Head P.
They found me.
We were there early. We were the early.
I was the first artist that was signed up with them. The first actually good artist that had numbers in Seattle is Swisher Sleep. He has like the hugest draw out there. I'm not a localite, so I'm the first artist touring through there that got one. But the first local guy, Swisher, he's awesome. He was the first one to get 1,000 cones in the stores. I sold 320 in the first month I put them out there.
Nice.
So and I made $82.50. The company paid out straight up. It's really cool. So it's something really tangible to look into for your band. That
Yeah, it
wants
sounds
to,
like you're getting
and,
a little under a third. That's not bad.
I don't think we know what we're talking about here, but we're talking about cannabis in the cannabis industry out there. We've merged music and cannabis. So if you buy a 1 gram joint, now in this case it's 2 half-gram joints that have 20% keef and 80% flower in it, and they're really Really potent. They get you high. It's Boba Kush with some Syntex, but that's just the first batch. They don't even use that anymore. We've got some lemon haze now.
So the lemon haze is good. They change the strain.
It changes as we get product in. So you can have 3 different brands in there as fast as we get product in. You know what I mean? In and out. So, I mean, if we get in it, it's just going to be random. So we get stuff. We put an artist label on it. It goes out to the stores, and it's just a new taste of the week. But right now we're refining the whole thing, and High Tunes is more or less focusing on hot sauces and barbecue sauces, non-infused and infused with THC.
Nice.
So the non-infused, we're actually going to be able to get musicians and their art on the labels available in Walmarts or other kind of stores out there in the public market all over the country without even being messing with cannabis. So we've gone straight to just artist branding and not just on cannabis. We started with a cannabis company with the license to do so in the 502 business out there, but we're thinking a lot globally because there's countries we can't. We're doing coconut water for Lotus Crush, because Lotus Crush has a coconut water taste, so that we're going to do coconut water for them. So when you scan a QR code, you get a free download of their music and follow them on their tour and their videos and stuff like that. They keep updating on the iTunes website. Another band that's getting a hot sauce is Everybody Panic. They're going to be getting a hot sauce because that just sounds like a really good hot sauce name.
And it looks great.
Oh, and it looks great. And then you should see I got to make their label for them, and they liked it. So it's a bunch of people running from an exploding volcano. I illustrated it pretty good. I was I can only do so much with clip art, man, but it looks really cool.
So do you know how the downloads translated from the purchase? Did everyone download it, or is there 50%?
They're gonna start applying purchase points some way or another to these purchases. You can scan your Walmart receipt, and those purchase points will go on your iTunes app. It'll recognize the codes, and it'll put it in purchase points in your account. Then you can download your favorite artist, and the artist that has the most points, up to a 5-level tier, they can get their own label art brand on the market.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice. So they got a lot of stuff going
some shit on the market, but any band that wants it done, pay for it. We're right here. Pay for it. We'll put it in the stores for you, and they'll sell it. You can even pitch it and tell all your friends to go to the stores and get $1,000, $3,000. Pay for it. We'll put it out there. You can get it out there. It's possible. Your band can have it with THC or without. Pay for it, or you can do it for free and let us put it out there as slowly as possible, and we can get it done, and it'll slowly grow.
How many states is it in now?
Just Washington right now.
Just Washington.
Yep.
So
right now we're just working in Washington. We're working locally to do our beta testing. We've picked up a bunch of bands in Florida like Digis Christ Superdrum, Virginia Rose Band, Psycho Tribe, Together in Exile. Oh gosh, I'm probably forgetting some others. I feel so bad.
I guess that's good.
Tranquil's another one.
It's bringing everything over to the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm a Floridian band, but I'm touring over there, and they see that well, you're here touring, so bring your friends' bands out here to tour as well, and then they can sell their cones in the stores, get the money, and it pays for their trip out here. But there's more states to drive through. It takes care of their trip to Washington, but you got to kind of get there.
Right.
So when you get to Washington,
it takes
you're okay.
a lot. Yeah. It definitely takes a lot to get from Florida.
The closer you are, the better.
Yeah, the closer you are, the better. So, but people don't quite get it. They don't see the availability for. Well, they don't see the. I don't know. I guess they don't grasp that their music is available everywhere now on stuff in different markets. It's a distribution channel.
Right.
I don't know. I'd like to talk to some more people about why they wouldn't do it, but we're still in beta testing for the most part for what we want to do, because some things we had in mind, we're just well, that's not going to work, but other things we're this is going to work really good.
Well, I could see, if someone bought a couple of joints and then downloaded the songs, they don't need to buy your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I see a little difficult.
So if I put one song out there in 350 cones, and one fan buys it, you're going to go buy it again? Maybe they'll get the other artist because it's right. But if they really like that band, they really want to help support, and they know
they might give the code away.
They came to the show the night before, and they're like, "Hey, I went to your show, and I bought your cone. That's awesome." Hey, go buy it again. You can get high with me again. I'll appreciate it. It's 25 cents to my bank account.
Right.
It keeps me going, and they will go buy the cone again or give it to a friend because it's a free download.
Absolutely, that as long as that's what they can.
There's an incentive there to do it again, but you just have to sell it. People won't see it right away, but it's like you can do something with it.
I love that I bought 20 of them, and I had so many around because I can hand out here one.
Yeah,
here
we
one,
bought.
here one.
Chris bought 20. Chris bought 20 cones when we were out there.
How much are they?
They're about $10 a piece. So we kind of ran into a thing where we were paying a lot for the art. I went into the next town over under the bridge, and I found joints for $5, and I was like, oh, there's a $5 cone here. That's cool. Ours are 10. It's got a pretty label on it. Shit, these are selling like fucking hotcakes. 1,500 cones a day at some retail stores, sometimes more. But for $5 a cone, we had to try and kind of change our plan because now we're just paying for packaging. Weed out in Washington can be down to 5 cents a gram.
The expense of most products is the packaging. I mean,
exactly.
3/4.
You're paying for packaging and 40% tax.
And I believe in environment, so I don't like all this packaging. And
You're buying a soda. It's 11 cents for the cup. It's 2 pennies for the soda.
I have my own cup.
We sell the joints out there for $3.33 to the store. Then the store has to upprice it for their cut, and then the state taxes on it, so it comes out to $10 even.
Right. Yeah.
At Urban Legends in Seattle, I had to charge $12 because Seattle city limit taxes is like 47%.
Yeah, see the medical here, it's not taxed, but you can only do the vape here and shit. So there's little tricks you could know, but I mean, like they have the vaporizer things, and there's actually flour in it, but it's still illegal to smoke it. So burn it, not smoke it, burn it.
It's illegal to textile it. It's illegal to make it into paper. Yeah. It's illegal to make it into oil for your cooking, or it's illegal to make it into oil for your car.
Exactly.
Did I say oil for your car?
Yes, that is illegal. That is federal.
I'm sorry. You can find me at Hempfest, and I'm going to be there smoking weed, so you can arrest me there, motherfuckers.
That's funny. You know how many times he was going to come on the show, and he was so blown out he forgot.
I did. It's the weed. I was supposed to be on the show, man, and I got people that are like, "You're supposed to be on the show." Like, I totally forgot, man. 4:20 happens, and then it's 5 o'clock. What time is it here? See, that's what happens. It's like 8 o'clock here, and I'm like, oh, I fucking missed the show.
I'll send you a little message. What happened?
We started watching Big Bang Theory,
That's
it's live. It's 8 o'clock here. You guys are watching Big Bang Theory. We're watching it down there too. We just totally spaced about the show.
On top of you selling like the product to your fans and trying to make them get the knowledge out there about it, do you find that they're just buying it because they're interested in your music?
They are. Some people are. It's really fan base out there. It's all about popularity. You're not selling anything unless you don't know someone. One of our salesmen out there, and I say one of our salesmen because I represent Gold Services, Lenny is one of the best salesmen in the market. I mean, he walks into a building, high fives everybody. He knows everyone by name. They know him. He really smiles and high fives in and out, and he works with, and they trust everything he sells them because he sells them good product. He worked for for another service, and they aren't working with them anymore. So he had the best weed in the world for sale on the market, but the state of Washington made it $25 a cone, and it turned it into a birthday joint and an every Friday other joint, and we can't afford it every single day. Why can't I make $100,000 selling my product? You guys can do it here in California easy. We're selling $25 a joint, dude. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's worth it because it's like 1 gram of oil infused into a gram of weed that has keef in it, and it's just amazing and mind-blowing, and it's just going to knock your dick in the dirt.
Try to sell a $25 joint in LA or Hollywood, and try to sell a $25 joint in Tacoma.
Yeah, the $25 joint is $10 or $15 in California.
In Vegas, and meanwhile, it's 10 or 15 in.
Oh yeah, Vegas is cheaper.
Areas. Maybe in Vegas it would sell at that price as well, but not in Washington. It's.
But yeah, that company is no longer doing THC or infusion. They kind of pulled the plug on all that operation, and they decided to go CBD. And I don't even know what's going on with them now, but I wish them the best.
Yeah, I hear you.
But Gold Services is running strong, and we're doing all kinds of things for bands or for any kind of producer processor that's out there in the market.
Causes?
So we do. Oh gosh, don't get me started. Get me started on causes. Thank you. So we do things for causes like veterans and breast cancer awareness, autism awareness, and Alzheimer's. That's what it was. And so
You almost forgot.
right?
We almost forgot Alzheimer's. That's funny shit.
So we do these causes for them. So what we do is we have the $10 or $15 joint on the market, or it's the same price as the other high tunes joints. And what they do is that instead of it going to a band, it goes to the cause. So and and you can also go to the website and put your own price for how much you want to donate, because a lot of the causes don't want to be involved with cannabis industry, and that they just can't do it because it's just
What was the thing you were telling me about the firefighters?
Oh yeah, the first response and firefighters and officers. I made a cone for them too, but it got frowned upon at one store. They're like, "Get that out of here. We want all of them, but that one." I'm like, "Why? The cops one?" Like they're looking at the cops one, and they're like, "They don't want the cops one. They don't want. They don't want."
Saying that a portion of the proceeds.
The portion of the proceeds goes towards their 401 or whatever you want to call their pension or whatever their shit is, you know. So that's really cool. I mean, plus you got bud tenders, cute girls that are bud tending out there that are walking out of the buildings at night. Sure, they're on camera. Of course, they're on camera. But after they leave and they're safe in their cars, these places are getting robbed and smashed in with the windows getting smashed and the weeds getting stolen. And why? Because no one's in the parking lot to stop it. Well, you know what? There's cops in Dunkin' Donuts sitting there waiting because they get free coffee and donuts for hanging out, making sure people are safe walking in and out late at nights. If they're sitting there in a parking lot, safe, watching the road or looking at the parking lot, doing cop things, they have some incentive.
Right.
But these people are like, screw the police.
I could see both sides.
But we don't want to be Jeff Sessioning everybody that doesn't approve of marijuana.
Right.
They're not all Jeff
Society's
Sessions.
views
Right.
changes all around the country from what we see. In this
Yeah.
area, it's different from Florida.
I mean, they call dabbing something else down here.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny. I mean,
That's a bigger. That's a
even down here in like the head shops, it says right on the door, this store contains drug paraphernalia, but you can't talk about anything in there.
Can't say a word about it.
But they can talk about it
Right,
on their
that's the
Facebook
laws.
page. It's
Oh,
like
absolutely,
we're
right.
musicians.
so you could say all of this on there. Even you're still conducting business. You shouldn't be allowed
Wait
to
a
talk.
second. The owners probably can't, but I'm sure on the post, anyone can say anything.
Oh no, he's talking about it like in his
But
reviews
if
and
he's
stuff.
the sponsored owner, and in the laws of Washington, he could not.
Yeah, I think if you can't talk about it, if I can't come in, how am I supposed to explain
He's
that you need a bowl for?
owner,
A bong for my
and
weed.
he's talking about his weed and promoting his smoking.
How do you say I need a bong for my shatter? I mean,
Right.
without saying that.
Saying
I
that
mean,
if you need to know what you're looking for, and say that one.
right.
That's it.
I mean,
It's
You
ridiculous.
gotta use
loophole.
innuendo. It's sort of like
laws.
charades. Like first word, 2 syllables.
should I just make it
laws,
rhyme
man.
and be like I have a batter? I mean, I don't know.
I can't describe to you what I need this for, so I can't get the right thing for
I
me.
need a rig for something that
And that's
runs
what
without-
I mean, there's a
They
thing.
make it hard.
There's a thing called lingo. When you work at jobs, you kind of learn the lingo, and when you walk into a head shop, there's a lingo. And I'm sorry, officer, if it doesn't fall into your lingo in your job, but we talk about bong, shatter, and fucking dabs and other kind of shit that we do. So
I
this is what we
raised
talk
those
about in my
two
job. You talk about what you talk at your job. 10-4?
And they make it hard for someone like that to do business. But you can't make it about drug paraphernalia. But they have to put on their right on their front door. This store has drug paraphernalia.
Sure.
It's contradicting.
Right.
It really
this
is.
Still has drug paraphernalia.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
say you're using it
Someone
for
at produce
drugs.
market.
Yeah.
I smoked
That's
out of an apple
ridiculous.
before.
Apples are great, man. When Dick Scott
Everything's a bong. When, you're a pothead.
when Dick Scott changed the whole friggin' laws and illegalized pipes, I was like, everybody's freaking out. They legalized pipes and water bongs in the state of Florida, and laptops and cell phones too. Yeah, they fucked up. They're gonna go back and fix it real quick. But they legalized pipes in like July 7th of like 2014 or 13 or some stupid day. And Aaron 8 1/4 and I, we recorded a song and a video, and we did an animation of like everybody's freaking out about the pipes. So we're like, don't freak out, it's okay. You can find one in your local market or even in maybe a dumpster. Just find yourself an apple, carve it out, poke a little hole, apply the weed or tobacco, light it up. Yay! And it's edible, so you can get rid of the evidence. No more
Some of
cops.
these guys spend $5,000 on glass. I'm like, what?
Just smoke out of an apple.
Yes.
I smoked out
But you know what?
seashell
I know
once.
what.
Those are good.
It is a
Smoke out of
hell of a
seashell.
craftsmanship.
It
is.
Artist.
It is.
And I'm supporting a local
Yeah.
artisan that is
That's
such a old trade
I hear you.
that I could see that.
But
being
it's
done.
like
For a 9-foot dragon of freaking glass.
Yeah,
I paid $5 freaking grand for that.
That's crazy. There was a guy on Live PD who got pulled over in Pasco, and he had one. And the guy's like, "Yeah, it's worth about $1,500." I'm like, $5.
Actually,
the
I remember
fucking
1,500
Slipknot show you buy a glass.
I remember his being a vape kit.
It's crazy.
For doing vape medicine.
It's definitely come. I mean, a long way. I mean,
Sure.
it's you can buy gummies. Take them. You used to not be able to smoke
The
anywhere.
thing with the edibles, outside the medical market, and I want to get into medical versus recreational here in a second, but the medical market was great. They had 100 milligram gummies, 100 milligram taffies, and you just fucking eat it and get high, and you're like, oh, and you go to sleep, and you're excellent. Now it's 10 milligrams. You can have 10 milligram individually wrapped, and you eat it, and you're like,
Yeah, you got to eat.
can I get another hit off that joint? I didn't get that puff pass as I normally do.
The equivalent
Right.
of 7 or 10.
You have to eat 10 single candies
To get the
just to get a buzz,
What-
just to get the
honestly.
little buzz. So the recreational market now is no longer medical. There's no medical in Washington. California, there's no medical in California. You can call it medical or you want to call it.
just changed.
The regulations change it because the fertilizer used to grow the plants are different. They're weaker. They'll only get a 12 to 16% yield of potency versus the 18 to 23 that we're getting because they're getting experimentative. We're going to make it potent as fuck because we want a lot of potency here. Well, you got some idiot from Utah like, I'm on a mission and I'm going to try some marijuana. Right. They go in there, they get high off their fucking minds and go wreck their car because some asshole suggested go smoke weed and drive a car. Yeah. I don't know who thought this. Oh, because they can't smoke weed in the state of Washington's shops. You have to leave the shop and go get high.
No
so
discussion on the
It's like drive-through liquor store.
it's like a drive-through liquor store.
Here's some of the medical here. Is up to 90% THC.
That's what there was
medical. What the liquid?
Yeah, it's in a vaporizer.
It's usually cut with the PG gas for like the vapes he's doing. That way you can see the cloud where what he's doing, and his cloud is not as plumy. That vape gas, they cut it, and also you got flavor and terpenes. The glycol, whatever the propylene or whatever it is.
This is first press.
Propylene glycol,
spectrum, full plant.
Yeah, with this company, the true.
I want to hit it once. Fucking doing all this talking.
They pretty much. It's straight up. It's cut with. They tell you what it's cut with. Some of it's got olive oil, but we'll take a break.
So the medical, the medical side of things here, they changed the price of it. So when you're buying weed out there, if you have a medical card, you just don't pay state taxes.
Right.
You're getting weaker weed. It's shittier. You don't get to go in a back room and pick medical weed because this is the better medical corner of the room. There's no difference. It's the same fucking weed. You're just paying tax free. They've taken out the medicinal is gone. It's illegal to say medicinal or medicine on it. It's illegal to say organic.
It's not doctor.
You can grow it. It better fucking be organic. Everything out there is organic.
You can't say it's organic.
Yeah, just like anything else labeled organic.
So now you can't go in a head shop and say shatter, and then you can't go in a dispensary and say medical.
And you really shouldn't say the M word. It's crazy. It's the C word now.
Yes,
cannabis.
This is true.
Yeah. Marijuana is the bad name.
Except cannabis.
Marijuana originally was a smear campaign anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because marijuana is a combination of two other chemicals that historically isn't even pot. They started using that during the reefer madness shit. So.
But it's against hemp.
Thank you, Ryan.
And it was against hemp for industry, mostly the petroleum, paper, pharmaceutical.
Yep.
And
so if you guys watch Bill Nye the Science Guy, we're going to take a break. Watch Bill Nye the Science Guy. We'll be back. Season 2, episode 1. He talks about marijuana.
Does he?
It's amazing. He kind of goes off topic about this last 8 minutes of the show. He gets Kevin Smith in there too. It's great. He talks about it, and Kevin Smith's like, I quit smoking cigarettes to start smoking more pot.
That's what I did.
He's like, people are like, so does it make you more creative? He's like, well, look at everything I've done 38 years ago versus what I've done now.
That's funny.
And I believe it makes you live longer, and that's the reason why the government don't like it.
It lowers your inhibitions. It lets you talk, and we can have a good conversation at this meeting.
Another reason they don't like it is because they make a lot of money from
big oil,
black
big
market.
pharma.
Absolutely.
Policing it too.
Yeah, and policing it.
Recycling
There's
it.
more money in keeping it
They
illegal.
think there's more money in policing.
So the
but
answer
if they
is-
taxed it. There'd be a lot more fucking money for the state.
Imagine it being a free
Yep.
tax environment,
In-
locally produced.
in my-
with little
thank
bit
you,
done
Chris.
and waste.
In my opinion, it should be black market and decriminalized.
Yes.
Yep, I hear
Exactly.
you. I hear
Just
you.
like
That would
music.
flourish
Just like my
in
music
time.
is. I play my music for free. I want to share my weed with everyone.
I kind of
I want
like
to grow it and I'll share it.
to know where it's grown rather than it coming from like fucking
Exactly.
Mexico or
That's the bad
Iraq,
part.
but that's the only
That's
bad
bad.
part.
I like oils. I don't want someone blowing up their house making it.
Right.
I want it done in an industrial setting.
A sterile
But
environment.
we have an explosive proof room.
Safe.
Some of these places don't even let you walk in their grow rooms
Oh, sure,
because it
right.
has to stay
Full
sterile. I
price
mean,
suits.
Well,
if
you
have
gotta
Yeah,
get suits.
yeah,
You put
yeah.
suits on. Put suits on. Yeah, but if you go into a farm, previously that day, because I worked at a lab, and I would go farm to farm. And the first farm I would go to, she asked me, "Have you been to any farms today?" I'm like, "No, I haven't, but thank you for asking. I appreciate you actually taking the time and considering that I've been around."
Right.
You know, but I'm going to another farm after this,
because
so I'm
you
going to
could
keep
be
that in
spreading
mind.
some type of
Right, mites,
bacteria.
mites.
Right.
But they use they can use a couple of different things. Some people use ladybugs, a natural
Right.
mite defense, and it's beautiful. Ladybugs. Who hates ladybugs? Come on, right? So grow some pot plants, get some ladybugs, put them in your closet, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
You know, stop
I
drinking
hear you.
alcohol and beating your wife.
Dude, all that hubbub over a plant. Think
Yeah.
about it.
And opiates,
Yeah.
man. 88% less deaths in Washington. I mean, Florida's like, why not we try it?
California's projected to make $5.1 billion. California's projected to make $5.1 billion in 2018.
It took
So-
$300 million they made the first year weed was recreational, $800 million the second year, and $1.2 million they made in the third year weed's been recreational. That's straight from the
crazy.
LCB saying that's what they made overall, the all price of weed.
And they're so dumb that they think they're not letting these people put the money in banks and shit. That's all money they're losing because they
Right.
can't.
So, to my point, if the goal of capitalism is profit, where the fuck is everybody? Why the fuck are these people fucking around? Excuse my language, but
But you can let someone go and drink, and they can get up and go to work in the morning and be fine. But that person that smokes weed, which is to me way better than drinking,
Sure.
gets penalized. And even with the medical card here, you still, if you get hurt at work, you're still on the hook because it's
Well-
federally against the law.
we have universal health care for dialysis, if I'm not mistaken. Dialysis is provided by the government for people who who fuck their livers up drinking.
Right,
So
right.
we can't smoke a fucking plant at our leisure. Like,
Well,
give
that's
me a
part of the
fucking break.
system.
That has medicinal
Yeah.
qualities to it.
That's the point. They say that it opens up, parts of your mind that make you less apt to fucking bullshit in general. So it's all a form of control. But at this point, if I don't mean to take a jab at anybody with a capital R in parentheses next to their name, but at this point, it's like if the main goal of capitalism is to make profit and be successful, then at this point, for weed to be illegal, it's just out of spite.
Yeah, and
So,
and
it's
a lot of
no-
this shit that's
no,
come about in the
it's still
past few
profitable.
days is just to divert the attention off other shit that's going on. So, all right, we're going to make an uproar with this, so this shit goes under the carpet a little bit easier. Because there's been other shit on the news that's... Exactly. There's been more important shit on there, so... I think tactically that's what they're doing this recent
I
uproar.
will say the state of West Virginia will never ever go legal. And the reason why is the powers that be that control the laws there run the drugs there.
But that's
And
a lot
so
of the
they are
reason.
making
They will
that
never
profit.
take
and police.
That profit you can invite to the community is already in the community. And they like it the way it is. They're controlling it the way it is.
They're cursed to
They
that
have massive junkies. You want to create junkies in your community, which in some weird demented government way you can do.
Heroin's
Of
better
course.
than
Take away the pot in the area.
weed. Give them bad weed.
Give them no other options. Give them bad weed. Give them no other options but to go do what else they would want to do as a drug addict. If I have weed, I don't go for nothing else.
See,
as long as I have weed, I don't
there was
go
a
for
thing
nothing
where
else.
one of like the DEA
I was
came
right.
out and said, "There's no one out there going out and smoking weed and making robberies. They're going out buying a bag of chips and going home to chill. People driving around drunk are fucking killing people. I could smoke." And I could drive like a motherfucker. It don't change, not that I do that.
Hopefully nobody's listening, but I drive high all the time. I'm sorry. I put 180,000 miles on my car, stoned every fucking mile. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in the country 3 times around, I baked out my freaking mind.
But speaking about bad weed in West Virginia, and if you're smoking recreational weed as a missionary guy from Utah, and you smoke really shitty weed, you're gonna be like, didn't really get high from it. Let me go be productive. We've just lost another potential pot smoker. What are they doing to us?
Good weed is the shit.
You gotta get good weed, bro. Don't go into the stores. It's a trick.
I don't know. I see a lot of good things to come of it, but I mean,
when I was in Colorado, I think now I know why the weed in the shops were worse than the weed that I got from my friends, because they were growing it with better fertilizer. Now that I think about it, they hit them with the recreational regulations on that, so that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it's definitely. I think they should just fucking get over it.
California's in for a rude awakening. They're gonna run out of weed real quick.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And all these people, it turns you into fucking please. I never wanted to do heroin. I make my own choice. I don't let fucking weed say, oh, now you got to try heroin. Get the fuck out of here.
Right? No.
Bill,
If you didn't have it as an option, you may be thinking about other things at some point in your life.
Right. No, I hear you.
I'm going to touch back on Bill Nye the Science Guy, because I'm a big fan of Bill Nye, and I'm from Washington. It's a thing. He's got this thing where he talked about marijuana on his show, and he's like, I'm not against marijuana. I'm against it when I was ultimately against it when I played Ultimate Frisbee in college. Yes, there I said it. I played Ultimate Frisbee in college, and I had a college Ultimate Frisbee team, and we were the rocket scientists, and he talked about how they came to practice in all their games stoned, and they never won a game. So he's like I'm gonna do a recreational recreation, and he got a bunch of comedians and the Lucas brothers bailing out of a fucking greenhouse van, all coming onto the field to play stoned and high against an absolutely sober team. Now, why did he use a sober team and not a drunk team? They didn't score one fucking point. Why didn't they play against a drunk team? That's not fair.
I hear you.
Liquor Control Board. Liquor Cannabis Board. I thought we were friends. What the fuck, dicks? You guys are assholes. LCD, fuck you all.
Those courses with
They're the FCC of the marijuana industry.
Some weed isn't, not everybody can smoke weed, but not everybody can drink alcohol either.
Right.
Some people can do a shot of Jack Daniels, and they're a complete fucking
Not everyone
asshole.
can shoot up heroin.
And then you can
Take
drink
pills.
a half a bottle and be fucking hugging everybody.
Yeah.
party guy,
Yeah.
Going streaking.
I'm a happy drunk. I just can't afford the alcohol. I like smoking weed anyway. Good free.
I hear you. All right, let's take a quick break so I can check on the dogs and shit. This is a song off the brand new Twisted CD.
And then we're going to hear my song later.
It's called Ninja Star. Jay Stone, rockmetaltalk.com.
Love you, Jeff.
I'm so apex, I'ma snap your back. I was born in the darkness like Bane Break Bad. Super villain synergy, eliminate my enemy. The more you try to sing to me, the less I see a friend of me. 5 points sharp and steel, that's heavy metal, see. Cunning black hooded scumbags, psychopathic tendencies. But you motherfuckers better watch your back. I come from the fog, I was born in the black. I'm on the attack, punch, kick, stab, I choke and slash. I live for the payback. My head sing Lamb of God, I kill you with a camera on. It's gone of the dead and you motherfucker be dead by dawn. I guess I'm a little nuts, like giving nukes to Donald Trump and telling him North Korea said that they could fuck him up. I'm the worst of the baddest. My kung fu strong and my mouth apparatus. Shooting straight for the stratus. Fear my resolve and my balance. The more I gauge my primal res, the chances I'ma blow myself and all my reason quickly fed. So you gon' see the end of I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no peep, Lord freaking dog. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart.
was arc. I rode with animals and we in beast mode. And we gon' piece those right apart, right from the start. Grabbing for your heart like a Molaron. So when I reach back, hold left in your chest, by my hand, I feeling like a Green Ranger once again. Now when I'm out, won't change and mutate. The bitch, you better back to the fort and hope it don't rain. Cause it's back to the dark days. Bitch, you better pray that I don't go gray. We'll bump some old shake and head to the shelf and dust the AK. Aiming at the enemies and blow them away. Cause I'm dumping on them heavily to fuck what they say. Cause I'm caught up in the reverie and letting it be. 2 minute shells in a brand new box and I'm looking to pop off, so who wants some? Daddy was an automatic weapon and I'm a son of a gun. Motherfuckers don't want none, but here they go again with the big mouth open and they're tripping on opinion and the real side showing. Let me get another minute, I don't need another second. We ain't stopping for nobody cause the murder on the record, y'all know it. Envy your enemy, we gon' be first at the top of this every time. Ride with the family, haunted like Amity, killing and damaging every rhyme, every line. Emily, I'm down with gorillas and killers and ninjas and family of mine. Sharp as a ninja for every time. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down. With real lyrics and ungodly aggression, ain't no palm reader messing with my calm in the present. The longest direction, head hard, I'm sexing this bitch cow light till I'm crawling to heaven. If God speak through your heartbeat, I'm coming with a victory. So flawlessly running to be humming Kalima when you pop off. Tin Man with the sawed off, where you living all land is standing up against rap gambit. Watch me toss kings nuclear handed, shoot it savage, proofing damage, two to tango, but I ain't dancing. Rat attack to your back if I bust back in the cut. No, you can't handle the bus, rust in the heat. Yeah, seem prove too much. You you get scooped up. Man, run rapid and laugh at the dust. From out the mouth and they patting my bus. Still rolling round and I'm back to the tusk. Melee heyday just begun. Make way, y'all pray, we out to hunt. No faith in the play of the way of the gun is only homie, go home, load up. Can I tone the phone to get logo love? Can't roll your boat when that shit flow up. I'm the Holy Ghost and my coach show up. I propose a toast to those inspired, fire, die, straight in my heart. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down. I keep it darker than Delroy Lindo. And love to push your buttons like that old Nintendo. Your moves are monotone, they got no crescendo. M&E about to pop and do no memento. Please understand I'm not the sharpest of pencils, but I leave you full of lead and erase you in all your kinfolk. Him don't understand what I'm talking about. Kids float down here, now watch me walk it out. This hoe right here think he can play me like a banjo. Oh dear, we got a brother like Orlando. When Shaq Video lost all the magic, and that's clear. Now gone and disappear like last year. And let me and my ninjas represent for all the sinners, all the killers, all my motherfucking realers. Ain't nobody coming near us. We the illest. Put your axe up if you motherfuckers feel us. Feel us. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down. I'm a motherfucking ninja star. Rock all black down to my twisted heart. When you see me in the streets, if you blink, I'm gone. OG, no beat, Lord freaking down.
Looking up into your light blue skies, I see the dark clouds gather and the tears fall from your eyes. Flying through the clouds just to see your face.
All right, we're back with the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com with Yoshi Gish.
I'm Yoshi Gish!
So tell me about that song.
Well, that song was about a girl I dated, and she lived quite far away, and she was gorgeous. The song's called Reality of Altitude, The Gorgeous Torment. And it was just the fact I was really far away from a beautiful girl that I really wanted to be by, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy feelings. It's a song about feelings. It's a love song. It's a love-hate song. It's a hate-love song.
I don't think I ever wrote a love song. I might have, but I never recorded it.
I don't think I've ever wrote a love song either because it hasn't worked. I think that everyone just thinks I hate them. Like, it's not. I don't hate women, Jason. England. Jesus Christ, dude.
Everybody would hear me do a love song.
Any
Be
woman
like,
who's dead, you would think that.
did he smoke crack? He wrote a love song. But no, most of my stuff is pretty dark and about the apocalypse and different shit. But
Hey, man, write what you know about.
Right what you know, man. Right what you know.
yeah. We just wrote a new song for the new band, and I didn't mean to think of The Walking Dead but that's what I think of when I listen to it. I'm like, I got The Walking Dead on the brain. But no, it's all good. So, any new recordings that besides what you did today for Ryan, or
Am I allowed to talk about the stuff I have in the can, or am I supposed
You know
to keep
what?
that in the
Say
can until it's
about
ready?
Say about doing
that this is the best place to do it.
We're kicking a can.
I was talking to my friend Scott McKinley out in Washington, and he told me, don't release your songs right when you write them. I'm like, well, I want my audiences to give me approval whether it's a good song or not, right? I just wrote it. It's my feelings right now. It's how I feel. I want to put it out. No.
It takes that mystery.
You got to produce it, make it sound good, get it out. And like, well, the faster you can produce it, the faster you can get it out there, right? Well, no. Just produce it, put it in the can. What do you mean, put it in the can? Put it in the can for about a year. A year? Yeah, it's like good weed. You put weed in a bottle. If you smoke it right off the plane, you're not going to get that high unless you do live resin. And then live resin, what we go to live shows for. And that's just a jam, and it's going to taste good. It looks like jam, doesn't it? It's like a golden jam, live resin, right, Chris? So,
I know that shit.
so I can do this all day, man. Marijuana,
Music,
that word,
marijuana.
music and marijuana is the same thing, dude. But
Got a lot of songs recorded.
we got a lot of songs recorded. I did an ukulele album on the way across the country, and I did about 7 tracks with that project. I stopped in Kansas before I got my ukulele, and we recorded 7 tracks. We recorded 7 tracks with Ryan, and 5 tracks with Ryan, 1 track with Chris, and the other track was with oh man, I can't remember his name now. No, it was a local drummer. We had a local drummer out there. I just drew a blank on his name. But yeah, it was a cool, yeah. So we had some drums out there and it never got released. We have all the tracks here on a hard drive that we're trying to get done, and it'll happen one day.
I got all the dogs sitting on
I've got the ukulele album that I recorded. That's kind of cool. It sounds good. I'm gonna let Ryan hear it tomorrow, and then let's see. After that, I did. I'm writing a quintuple album. It's like 50 songs. I've got about 36 of them written already.
So if anybody wants a record deal, there you
So,
go. We got 50
I got a bunch of other tracks I need to finish my whole theme of the 50 song album. It's kind of funny. I'm not going to tell you what it's all about until it's done, obviously, but I'm working on some stuff, and I'm going to keep it in the can for about a year, but I'm just going to play local shows and do cover songs and have fun while I'm doing the studio stuff in the basement.
Right.
I hear you. When's the last time you actually put out new stuff?
Oh, we're talking about music.
That was
that was one of the last full official releases. Yeah, that was one of the very last official. And actually, that's probably the first time have you played that song in your show before?
I don't think so.
I think I gave you "I Wait" and another one to play. So I wanted to save this one for you for this. So that was Reality of Altitude, The Gorgeous Torment. That's about a girl I dated down here in Florida, and
The Shadow I Call My Reflection.
Shadow I Call My Reflection.
How did you meet Sid from Slipknot?
Fuck yeah, let's cook for him.
Chris got to cook for Sid and made this amazing chicken Thai dinner, and turned out that Sid and his buddy were vegetarians.
Really?
They loved the vegetables and rice, though.
Oven finished fucking dog.
I wouldn't picture him to be a vegetarian.
Well, everybody was going through
I
diets.
thought he ate humans.
They're going through, yeah, right. They're going through diet things. Everybody out there on the West Coast, but he
tried
travels. He
everything.
travels around. He's got this really cool turntable thing that
I seen him do. You had like a
Yeah.
video of him in the van or
It
something.
was really fun, and he signed my ukulele that was also signed by Tech Nine and Cocaine, the rapper.
I see. Like everybody was like, "Did you wipe off the Tech 9?"
No, goodness, no. Actually, Tech Nine signed 2 parts of that for me. I have my Strange Music VIP badge for the show, and he signed that for me. And then I also got the ukulele signed. I was like, "Could you sign the badge?" He's like, "Yeah." Can you sign the ukulele? He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, he's doing pretty
Oh,
good.
Ubiquitous
Yeah.
is great too, man.
He's got a great
Tech Nine,
fan
he's
base.
great.
Tech 9. It's
Yeah.
crazy. That's all. That's all. I always see people. That's all they talk about. Is this guy.
Sid Wilson, man, he was cool. We went to he's really into weed. He talks about weed more than I do, and he's more scientifically
lot of talk
sophisticated
about
about
weed.
it.
Yeah.
So, in the next chapter of this cannabis conversation, we'll be talking to Sid Wilson, and we'll be learning a lot more about the cannabis. No, we won't be talking to him, but one day we'll work on that. But it's really cool stuff, man. He went to a cool grow house operation with us at THC Farms out there. We got a lot of pictures. I got some pictures of them in the lab coat and stuff. It was kind of cool. He looks all like professional with pink hair.
That's funny. That's funny. So you've been meeting a lot of people. Who else have you met along the way?
We went to the Aftershock Festival, so that was just a handful of just ridiculous artists I got to see. I got to see Billy again from Perfect Circle. The first time I met him was in Hollywood. We were doing a show with Genitorturers at a sold-out show. It's some evil dungeon place we played at. I can't remember the name of the club. Some evil club, Sinister Club. So Club Sinister. We played down there. It was sold out, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. Walking through an alleyway, these 2 drunk guys come stumbling up to the table, and they're like, "Whoa, is that Genitorturers here?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. There's like 60 people in line. If you're not buying something, get the fuck out of here. Get in line or go. I'm working." And he's like, "No, it's cool. I know Jen. I'm Danny from Nine Inch Nails." I'm like, "If you're not Trent Reznor, get to the back of the line."
That's funny. That's awesome.
The dude standing right next to him, bald and just stupid face, was like, "Look at it. Who is this fucking kid treating us like this?" Is Billy of a Perfect Circle.
That's
And
awesome.
he's smiling. He's a really nice guy too, man. And these guys, they're like, "Where can we go see Jen?" She's like, "She's in the VIP room. If you don't have a VIP pass, you're not getting in."
I
And
wouldn't.
he walks back there.
I wouldn't recognize him.
Cecil, our light director, he's about 6'7" foot tall, 6'7", 7 foot. He's like a tall dude, and he walks back up like, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I just met my idol, Billy. He just walked right by me. Oh my god, he's amazing." I'm like, "Oh fuck, that really
That's
was
funny.
them. That was Danny of Nine Inch Nails, where the touring
That's
keyboardist for
fucking
them."
funny.
And I felt like a dick. They came back up. We did a really cheesy photo with him, and Billy's in the back like photobombing, like, "Hey."
It happens, dude. It
It was
happens.
great, man. So I saw Billy again at the concessions table, we eating food and stuff like that in the VIP tents in the back of the Aftershock show, and I was like, "Hey, remember me? Remember me at the Club Sinister?" He was like, "Oh yeah, how you been?"
That's funny. Hey, it's a good story. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of these guys, I mean,
Well, I asked him if
I wouldn't recognize them if they walked up to me.
I asked him if Danny was there because Nine Inch Nails was there. But Danny wasn't a part of that tour, so he was doing his own thing. Was off in a different part of California, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool that he knows that. They're good friends. It's kind of cool."
There's very few people that I'm gonna recognize.
Nothing
like
more. I got to walk by and just like, "You guys are awesome, good fucking show." And he's like walking by like fucking Jim Morrison just played a fucking kick-ass show with a beautiful blonde on his shoulder. I was like, "Motherfucker's a rock star, dude. Nothing more is the shit." They do a song called "This Is Let's Have a War," or
Yeah, I've seen them a few times.
Let's
They're
go
really
to war.
good vibe.
It's called "Let's Go to War," or something like that. And man,
I tried to get into them. I'm still on the fence. With
yeah, I'm
those
on the
guys.
fence. The songs are good. I like
The
the videos.
vocals,
But
kinda.
what kind of took my time up is Highly Suspect. I started listening to them like crazy, and I was like, I'm writing music, right? I'm doing really good. And like a couple months ago, my friend Anthony comes in the house, and he's like, "You guys got to check out this band." And he plays them, and we're like, "Oh shit!" And we ended up seeing it at Aftershock Festival. So I was like, I'm so glad I got schooled on this band before I got here, and was like, "I don't know any of your shit, but you guys were cool." And I'm
Right.
VIP backstage, but I don't know any of their shit. But I was like, "You guys are awesome." I had my ukulele, my ML, my metal ukulele. I had that there, and I was like playing "I'm Human." And like, And
That's
the
cool.
bass player was like, "You just learned that?" And I was like, "I've been practicing it for like a month. You know, I've been listening to you guys. You guys are really cool." And he's like, "Cool, man, cool. It's a cool band."
Yeah, they are definitely good live. The stage show is really good. I don't know. Maybe I got to give them more of a chance and get used to the vocals. People say, "Oh, you like Ghost," but I don't know.
Ghost is a cool band.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. No,
Yeah.
it is.
Ghost is different. They remind me of like a really psychedelic '70s Led Zeppelin style.
Merciful Fate. That's what
Yeah,
they're going
yeah.
for. I mean, he
It's
writes
great.
his songs so they
And
sound
they
perfect live.
beautiful. It's a great, but they're so fucking evil.
It's people see their image and
Yeah.
expect them to be like fucking Slayer, which it's not really about that. He's trying to it's entertainment. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like
It's
his
a great
voice. But
performance, too.
if you heard some of the bands he was in prior to that, you'd be like, "Holy shit, he is the devil."
Right.
He was in a band called Repugnant.
What I liked about him was Dave Grohl was a part of their band,
Right.
wasn't he?
Yep.
did
Yeah,
something
he
with them.
filled in on drums
Yeah,
here and there and
that was phenomenal. I mean,
produced one of the EPs.
If Dave Grohl likes them, they're okay in my book.
Yeah, he produced one of their cover EPs.
Okay.
If you have Ghost. But that's the thing I think I battle with, like, Five Finger Death Punch, too. Like, when Ivan was in whatever that Motor Grader was, I think he was in Motor Grader, it was different. I liked it.
Have you heard the cover of Gone Away?
No.
He did a cover of Gone Away on YouTube. The video, it's just, it'll make you cry. It goes and touches back on a soldier with PTSD after watching his whole platoon get blown away. And they do a really slow, dreary cover. It's really cool, man. But check it out if you guys are on YouTube. You know, Gone Away, Five Finger Death Punch.
Cool. So what else you got coming up?
Hempfest, man. We're doing all this stuff in California. I'm doing the Cannabis Saves Lives tour. What? Cannabis Saves Lives tour? Where did that come from? Well, this guy named Tim Nee, he's a rapper, and he's really awesome. You got to check him out. Tim-ME. And he's going to be doing this Cannabis Saves Lives tour. He's a medical patient out there in Washington, and it's converted over to the recreational side of things. But, you know, we're doing our thing, and we're going to try to take the Hemp Fest on the road with us with the Cannabis Saves Lives tour. And it's going to be kind of fun. I'll be, I guess, following them in transit in our own little tour bus. And, yeah, we're going to go to Colorado. We'll go through Arizona, Texas. I think by July they're going to legalize it to recreational. The farmers want to get in on it. They're tired of growing tomatoes or whatever the hell they grow in Texas. I don't even know.
Yeah, they want to make money.
So, yeah, there's no money in it.
But here, I guess they're saying they're going to delay the recreational a few more years.
Yeah.
It's so they're just trying to milk it for the money.
They have to finalize it, and right now Seattle's one of the they're really good on their business stuff out there too. But we're working on refining to make it more of like a franchise of you want to grow a pod here, you can grow it, you can test it, you can package it, you can even give it to your friends. Here you go, take it right out of the store. Or what store? Yeah, so we're just going to package it up and franchise it out to make it easier for people to do at home. Just like people have been growing their own or making their own microbreweries for the past few years, but now Budweiser's bought all the hops.
Right.
There's one way or another to do it. You can either make laws change.
Yeah. I mean, something's going to, I swear, black market and decriminalize weed. That's the only way around this. It's just going to get messy, and people are going to get angry, and it's going to fuck everything up. I mean, they've made it recreational cool in Washington, California. Oh, wait. We still can't make textiles out of it. We still can't make paper and oil and other things out of it. This is why we have Hempfest. Not to legalize it, guys. Get stoned on your own time. We're trying to make it useful. Yeah, there's more of a resource than just getting high on it.
Right.
Get high on your opiates if you want to, but we're trying to make hemp useful. That was a terrible message, but don't get high on your opiates. It's
That's
stupid. Just
funny.
get high on the weed, make your paper out of the weed, drive your car on weed, make food out of weed. Just do it. Just grow it, utilize it. It's useful. I mean, George Washington, when he got done with his presidency, he was the largest marijuana grower or cannabis grower out there. And then British came over here and said, "We got an idea from the UN over here. We're gonna make it illegal for everybody. So you might want to too." And they're like, "Why?" Well, we can make money off oil and coal. Oh, yeah.
Cotton.
All right, we'll do this. It's a good idea. They've got this idea worked out, so it looks like we're running out of resources, so it's worth more. But we'll say this is bad because marijuana will make you feel funny, and it's terrible, man. I don't know what the deal is. I don't see no crime in it, but
I hear you. It's ridiculous. I think that, well, my personal opinion is the state of Florida is trying to milk it, so everybody's got to pay for their card and go through the process, and they pay every year, and then once it dies down, like, then they'll say, okay, well, we're not making any more money from it. Let's legalize it and tax the shit out of it.
Yep.
And they're going to get a 20, 30% tax on it.
Just as much it is in the black market, and now it's shittier weed.
Yep.
And it's 5 cents a gram, and you're paying for packaging. Good for you guys.
Hey, it's a social change. It's a social experiment. Here we are.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome to 2018.
But the reason why marijuana, there was a whole new push for one thing. The roads, roadways, all the roads and the fuel that we were using were all sales tax fuel. That was the business model. To drive lots of vehicles as much and as ridiculously as much as possible. And whatever we could do to use more gas, the better we used. Well, there was a thing with making fuel out of hemp.
In which our next tour is going to be fueled on hemp, by the way. Just to let you all know.
Funny.
That's
You
how
gotta
we're
get a hemp mobile.
Yeah, we're touring on hemp. Not even on the Cannabis Saves Lives tour. That's a totally different branch. But you'll see us on the road, and we're like, "How are you getting around? You're playing all these free shows." Like, "Oh, we're using hemp." You don't even know how, but we're using cannabis, to get around. It's just how we do.
Did you bring any of those cones?
No, I had to stop. I had to stop in Texas on the way here.
I'm just kidding.
That was risky, but
Give away empty containers.
yeah,
What?
we do have some empty containers.
Nice.
If Chris has one, I don't know. I don't have any on me, but
That's funny. I was just kidding. Anyway.
right? No,
Yeah,
trust me,
yes.
we would love to bring it with us. Luckily, one of them fell in Plano out of Chris's car. I just called him out, didn't I? So my mom found it, and she's like, "Oh, I'll keep this safe." And I told her, just discard it, Mom, because that's illegal to have in the state of Texas. You should not have that in your possession. She's like, "Well, I'm just going to keep it safe because I don't want anybody else to find it until you get here." And I'm like, "Okay," because I have proper procedure and licenses to handle these type of things, and experiences in Washington and stuff. So they, if anybody asks me any questions, I just say it's okay. I'm a professional. Multi-pass. So the. I sampled it. It was very nice to know that it was safe for consumption, and I made sure that my friends and my family that were there did not come to any harm from smoking such a thing that Chris dragged
There
out
was
of
no deaths
on
caused
the
by
bottom of his
marijuana.
shoe. Yeah, it must have been stuck to the bottom of his shoe when he was walking out.
Tested and analyzed.
Yeah, it's been tested at our lab and everything.
It was still sealed.
Yep, still sealed up and everything like that.
That's funny
But
shit.
things just fall off the truck. You just got to make sure it's safe for everyone. So my mom and I enjoyed it very well on the way to the airport.
Bill killing a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it ain't a blue pill killing a 4-year-old, man. It really isn't. It really isn't. If your kid falls into a vat of oil and drowns, it's not THC's fault. It's just a vat of dab oil, and then your kid shouldn't be in a vat of oil. Why are you letting your kid swim in your vat of dab oil? It's like $70 million worth of dab oil that your kid just drowned in.
We put better notifications on 5-gallon buckets.
Really, 5-gallon buckets have warnings, like drowning warnings on them for paint. You gotta watch out for stuff like
shit.
that.
How many 5-year-old kids have hurt themselves on that?
I held a God, what was it? $250,000 jar of fucking oil.
Damn.
It was just amazing.
That's awesome. I
Not
love
enough
it.
to drown in.
The official marijuana
I
show.
couldn't touch it in the glass.
Cannabis.
If you drank it all, you would just be very fucked up.
I
You
would love
not
it.
die.
I would just suck it out like a bottle of honey, like a jar of honey.
You would not die.
I would try to.
Drown.
I would do it. Try me.
That's funny.
But I would go to sleep, and when I wake up,
If you wake up, no,
I
you'll
probably
wake up.
won't want to get stoned for a week.
I don't believe that.
I just did $250,000 worth of oil, bro.
It's like getting drunk. It's like getting drunk.
That's
Well,
funny.
no, I ate a shit ton of MGs, so it was like milligrams. I had like 300 milligrams one night. I really didn't get stoned the entire next day. I didn't want to. Everybody was dabbing. I'm like, I'm really good, guys. I really just don't want to do anything right now.
I think there was one day in my whole life where I actually said, I can't today. Just one. And that was rare.
Oh,
a lot of
man.
days happen that are good. It builds up.
That's funny. I love it. I love talking about it.
Yeah.
It needs to be talked about, really. It
Absolutely.
does.
It's been too
See, I don't
taboo.
want to be threatened for trafficking where I have my $250,000 worth of oil and I have to drink it all. before the cop gets to the car or window. I mean, that would be bad.
It's
That's not
funny.
what we want here.
Makes me think of Trailer Park Boys.
It's a private fucking jet. A private jet. What do you mean weed's illegal here? Well, I brought it over in a private jet. Well, you can't bring weed from America to Ireland, dude. It's
That
like,
would be in private.
He's like, you got any weed? And he's like, yeah, what do you need? I got this
I
one.
was like, no, we were just kidding. Wait, you really do? Are you serious? He's like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
The new one's funny where they out of the park.
They go to the European trip.
Well, they come to the United States and they got tasks to do. It's pretty funny. And
Oh, shit, I
Ricky
didn't
winds
see that
up
one
taking
yet.
acid. It's
Oh my
funny
god,
shit.
I gotta watch the new ones
He
then.
thinks Martians, little green
I saw the one
Martians
that launched in the
chasing him.
UK. I saw the one that launched in the UK, like the 6 episodes they did.
Yeah,
It
this
was
one's
great.
like a 6 or 7
Right when they
episode.
released that, I was already like 6 months in planning with the crew to come out and do like a small like documentary tour with me to follow me around and me and Chris. But it was like $2,000 a day to afford them on the road.
Wow.
No,
We didn't have that.
$2,000 a day.
It was,
That's
no, sorry,
crazy.
$2,000 a month. I'm sorry,
There you
Chris.
go.
Thank you, Chris.
That's
Thank you. It was $2,000 a month to afford them on the road, and I couldn't afford their
Yes, the
fine.
day a month, it's still too much
Yeah,
money.
I mean, it's
Right?
well,
Gotta
Real
go.
crew would be $2,000
$500 a week. $500 a week to feed and drive a van around, without having to worry about the pay from shows. That's not including pay from shows. Pay
Right.
from shows would cover other excess expenses, but just to have an extra $2,000 a month would have covered their expenses, just to make sure that they were always behind us. But that went out the window. They tried in the van broke down. They had to turn around in Indianapolis, and then they had
But
to go back.
imagine
But-
6 months of footage traveling with the
Oh, yeah.
band on the road like this, of it documented, being submitted.
It being edited every night. It gets edited every night while the driver's driving, following us behind us to the next show. So there's
Crazy.
2 people in a van, one of them
Good
riding.
idea.
I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I really want to do it, but nobody wanted to fund it. And there's other things, and everybody's got different ideas and different options, and there's other bands to follow, and why not? But shit, do it, man. Just fucking entertain us. Come on, we're just giving you ideas. Just fucking do it. Damn it, we're bored.
Well, I hear you.
I'll do it for you if you don't want to do it.
That's funny shit. I love it.
We can actually probably go pro at this point and then submit it and send it somewhere cloud and
Right.
actually work and process it.
Yeah, there's a
We
cloud
really
system
could
to do
probably
it. But they want. I've got friends in North Carolina that call me every 2 or 3 to 6 months now, asking me if I'm interested in their Citrix business for transfer data to their file sharing thing. And I'm like, well, my friend in Tennessee don't quite have a computer. He's been using his cell phone to do stuff, so I can't really send him anything to edit right now. He's kind of out of operation, so I'm just gonna hold off on the service. Plus, I don't have $60 a month to pay for it. So
I hear
just
you.
Go away. Stop calling me on the phone.
Yeah, everybody's always got something they want you to get involved in.
But iTunes is free, so you can go to iTunes.com/AR /submissions. And if your band has over 20,000 likes on your page, you can go to high-tunes.com/AR.
You have to have
submissions
20,000 likes.
to get an AR representative.
Gotcha.
And you can put my name down there as AR for you, because that's kind of nice.
Has that always been the requirement? or?
The AR representative submission.
is
If you have
not
over 20,000, you get 20 cents per cone. If you have under 10,000, you get 10 cents a cone.
And
Gotcha.
if we get bigger acts, that number will go up.
And since I'm like the first one on the grandfathered end of the market, and I'm gonna, I guess I have bragging rights, so I get to collect 25 cents on my cone. I walk into a store, and I get since I work for the industry, I get my employee discount, and I pay $8 for my 1 gram of weed, and I pay myself 25 cents. So in homage and tribute to my friend, 8 1/4.
That's funny.
That's fucking
That's
perfect.
funny.
I got him a cone too, man. I'm like, you have to get a cone, bro, and come to Washington and buy your own. He's in Tennessee. He's like, I can't even smoke my own product.
That's funny.
So
I love it.
He wrote a song for iTunes and everything, and it was really cool. Cocaine wrote a song for iTunes also, and you should check that out too. It's going to be released in January, probably by the 15th. They're releasing a video for it. So stay tuned with iTunes.
Do you know who the highest selling artist is on iTunes?
Swisher Sleep and me were
Nice.
and two different categories of rankings. So I sold the most out of the stores, and he sold the most in stores. Or
Wow.
I've sold the most in stores. No, I don't know what the number is. There was some kind of like controversial number, but he and I were like the first ones in there, and we were all in all the stores. But I think I had a job, and I had Chris. Chris and I ended up buying like a lot of our own shit, and we would go to the shows. And since the sharing laws got raised in Washington, we'd be like, hey, we've got our own cones. We'll share it with you outside, because why not? You know, we don't want to party alone.
Right. I
So,
hear you.
and we also get a gram for $8. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, you get the discount.
I literally got the best.
That also is that we didn't get as much sales because more discounts were applied on our sales, and we were in the market longer than Swisher was.
Right. Well, I want to say one thing. I got the best birthday present that one of my friends could have ever possibly given me. I got my own weed on the market on my birthday in Seattle, Washington, with my name on it. Like, it's just, I mean, with
Yeah,
my name
no,
and
it's
logo,
cool.
with my music available, you can scan the QR code, it goes to Tear Apart, and you can download the song for free or watch the music video. It's just, it was a really awesome gift and a cool gesture and a great thing to be a part of. I can't wait to go back in February and continue working with them. We have a lot of big things coming. I can't really release a lot of information at all because I'm privy to conversations that are straight up NDA signed things that I haven't signed, but I'm just not talking about too much.
I hear you, but when you do,
I'm
when
looking
you are
forward
ready
to
to
it
talk
making
about
it.
it, this is the place. So.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna call you over there. Hopefully, you're gonna have to call me. You're just gonna
Yeah,
have to like, Yoshi, answer your damn phone, bro. God damn it.
That's
We tried to call him and he didn't answer. We're gonna call Chris. Call Chris. Hey Chris, we'll talk to him for a minute. Someone will be like, Yoshi, Chris is on the radio show. He's ruining the show, man. You need to get
That's
on there.
funny.
Oh shit, Chris is on there. Oh, I forgot a radio show. Shit, they got Chris. Well, at least he answers his phone.
There was someone that contacted
Chris
me that
doesn't
wanted
answer
to come on the air with you and talk about iTunes. I can't remember the guy's name.
I
but
believe it
that's-
was Scott McKinley.
It might
Or was
have
it Jason England?
It was Jason England.
Can we call him right now?
I don't know. Can we?
Can you call people? I'll
Yeah.
give you his number.
That'd be awesome.
He's a really, really great guy to talk to. He's got a lot of nice stuff to say. He's a very positive gentleman.
You want me to patch your cell phone in here, or
You can, if you want to do it, do you want his cell phone number or do you want him on Facebook? 'Cause I got his number. I'm not going to tell you over the air,
He's
but
ready to go video.
I can call him on Facebook?
yeah, he'll do Facebook chat with you. He'll do video chat with you even. Shit.
That'd be awesome.
Let me see here if I can get him on there on one of them calls. Let me play a song real quick. We'll be right back. Come on, play.
Ah, he's gonna love it.
Josephine, where can you be now? Again, the sun is rising on my troubled heart. Don't deny, you know, you and I are the making of what fate just can't pull apart. My sweet Josephine, won't you come and marry me? I got every kind of love that you would ever need, dying here on bended knees. Sheets of rain, cold and gray, run down the page. There's a write your name with just the weight of your silence now, crashing all around me while I scream it out loud. My sweet Josephine, won't you come and marry me? I got every kind of love that you would ever need, dying here on bended knee. Josephine.
All right, we're back with Yoshi Gish, Chris, Ryan, and now Jason on the line. So what's going on?
How's it going out there, guys?
Good, good. So we brought you on because we're in the middle of this conversation with music and the marijuana industry. So Yoshi wanted to give you a call, so we got you on the line.
Hey, Jason, how do you feel about the M word?
Which word?
The M word, marijuana.
Oh, that was a hot button out here. I wasn't expecting that. It's cannabis. It's cannabis. We don't take kindly to any degradation of character or defamation of any plant. It's really bad what happened to the cannabis marijuana thing back in the past.
Can you
Is that where you're...
Yeah. Tell me what you know about the Cannabis Saves Lives tour.
Well, I know it has Tim and Cat Bonsack and Yoshi Gish. I'm not sure who else is going to be on it.
We might get Afro Man on a couple shows in some cities that are allowing him to play. But some people are still digging him, and some people are still kind of on the fence with his history. But we're still totally supportive of him and his music career and what he's doing. You know, people make mistakes, and
He got high.
we've done Afro Man shows.
I think he's great.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Virginia Rose Band did a show with him too.
Nice.
Around Bonfire. That's what was cool.
Yeah, he's played right down here when it was, I forgot the name of the club it was, but it was down the block. He used to play there all the time.
That's great. So Jason, we're going to do this Cannabis Saves Lives tour. We're going to go through a couple states, and when we get back to Washington, we're going to try to do maybe like a cannabis cruise, or maybe before or after we do the tour, but we're going to do cannabis cruises, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to be on boats with rock stars and different philanthropists to make sure that money's going out to causes and other things.
Right. Causes like we have autism, cancer awareness, veterans, the Rescue 22 Too Many.
Yeah, that's the Veterans Anti-Suicide Group that we give money to.
Right. Yeah, tell us.
What's his role in the whole game?
What's mine?
Yeah, what's your role as far as the music, the high tunes, all of that,
And causes.
so people know who you are?
Well, the owner of High Tunes is Scott McKinley, and I work with Scott McKinley on a project called Causes. I'm the lead on that one. And the focus of what I do is humanitarian-based. We highlight different charities and other groups that make social impact, and we make sure that they get money and attention. Scott donates personally out of his own account, and then, we bring a lot of attention. And when you bring attention, people like to donate.
People like attention. What we do out there is we're working on getting all these recreational stores to let musicians come in and do meet and greets and possibly even perform light shows for the customers that want to come in and actually stay for a minute and see a band play. We're leaning on the fence to put sharing laws in public and smoking in public places, because right now it's a crime, just like it would be to crack open a bottle of liquor at ABC liquor store and start drinking out of the bottle. You just can't even smell the weed at a pot shop, let alone smoke it. We want to raise that taboo thing of it and let people smoke and watch a band play.
Right, I hear you.
Ultimately, with cannabis, the end goal is complete normalization. We want to be at that level at a society where normalization gets rid of all the bad stigmas. But bringing musicians back to work in every place you hear a radio would be my personal dream.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people could really make money making music? We could have a culture-based society with just a small...
Go ahead.
Well, Chris was out here for a couple months. He's got some real good insight on this, too.
We've been over about an hour already, brother. We had to bring you in on this one.
You guys have been exhausted, my favorite politician there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's gotta, it's gotta be done already. It's ridiculous that, as a country we're battling to get this when that's what we want ultimately. So
Well, there's a lot of things that I'm familiar with in history. Like, even Ben Franklin said, we don't really want to... Man, I'm really stoned. I lost that one.
You're like hell, man.
I don't know if that's a good representation of what we're trying to get here, but
I need a dab, really.
that's what he thought about. But no, I mean, really, it's something that, like we were talking about. It's more that they think they make more money when it's criminalized than anything. But it'll change. I truly believe that.
I think it should be black market and decriminalized.
I agree.
Grow it your own and share it with your friends.
Yep, I hear
Not
you.
with your kids. And if your kid gets it, it's better than swallowing a blue pill.
Yeah, or it's
4-year-old.
better than a 9-year-old hitting the wine bottles.
Oh gosh, the liquor bottles even, and then getting stupid out there and riding his bike or eating in traffic or something.
I did that.
You know?
Grew up a drunk.
You know?
That's funny, but
Chris is on the rehab tour with Yoshi Gish, Cannabis Saves Lives tour. So I mean, cannabis saved in his life right now, man.
Amen.
saves
For
a
real.
lot of lives.
It's for real. I mean, we've been smoking weed for the past 3-4 years on the road, and I mean, we might have a drink every now and then. It takes the pain off our backs. But a good drink every now and then is good. But at a moderate level, of course.
Yep, and and a lot of people are doing a lot of good things based on cannabis. I won't say marijuana.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I mean, a lot of good things are happening. I mean, the causes you guys are working for, and combining it with the music industry, it should flourish the way it's going. But you got these dumbasses who think people are dying from it. I mean, you could be smoking crystal meth or bath salts and eating your neighbors and shit.
How do you think California is going to take with the recreational change, Jason?
I'm not sure how the market's going to change because of the amount of money that is going to get thrown around, and with the political waves that are going back and forth, I don't really want to get into a sessions discussion because that seems to be...
Yeah, like I said, a lot of
Yeah.
that's a distraction right now for other things going on politically, I think, and it was easy to just say, this is what we're going to do to start an uproar, so it distracts from what's really going on as far as major issues, but that's my...
I agree with your point. I really do.
It's ridiculous that it's got to come to that, but they're the ones making it look bad when it's really it's harmless in numerous areas. I mean, medically, I mean, recreational. It's not hurting anybody.
You know what is hurting people? Prisons for profit. That hurts people.
Absolutely, privatization of prisons and shit like that. They need to put people in jail. They need those marijuana or cannabis offenders because they have numbers like any other business that has to perform. So
It's not just incarceration. There's the cageless incarceration that our population suffers as well.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, as far as going legal across the whole country, it's time. I mean, there's only so much we could say about this at this point. We've probably hit on every topic we possibly could.
Did y'all cover PTSD real good? Because it really helps with PTSD.
Oh, the PTSD thing we were discussing. We did discuss PTSD. We were bringing up Five Finger Death Punch, a music video they did for Gone Away, and it had a soldier in there, but it didn't mention anything about marijuana. It could have put like marijuana at the end of it. It's like, here, try marijuana. But they didn't do an ad campaign for that. Too many kids probably watch that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people are still afraid to touch on the topic. Still, we're not afraid of it here, so we're not afraid of much.
Family friend.
I got one for you.
What's that?
Have you played with the CBD beard cream yet, Jay?
What's that?
Have you played with the CBD beard cream yet?
No.
There's CBD beard cream.
Not.
You want me to send you a sample of that?
I would love it.
All right, I'll get you some samples out there. We'll swap information afterwards.
Oh yeah,
cool,
Kat
cool.
Bonsack, she's got some beard cream, and her husband, he's like, I need some beard cream. She's like, I got you.
Hey, I gotta say, I mean, there's the medical here, and people swear by the topical creams and the pills and shit that it's helping them, you know, with inflammation and all sorts of issues. I mean, I've met so many people at the dispensary that say it's changed their lives that they can actually access this stuff. So
CBD and THC is the only effective way for, I think, a medical, show of like something changing, something that's a benefit.
And
right? Medical benefit. You have to have THC with the CBD. If you're just doing
Right.
CBD, it's kind of like taking an aspirin. But you got to have the THC in there. It's
Right.
kind of like taking Excedrin. You're going to get that headache away pretty good. But it's not like caffeine in it. But
I got one more thing to touch
Yeah.
on as far as why they don't want to legalize it, and that's because of all the good qualities it has and versus pharmaceutical sales.
Right.
So, you got your Vicodins, you got people that are doing all that shit too, and it's okay because they got a prescription for it. They can go to work and function normally. It's just got a bad stigma to it.
after you smoke so much and your THC levels get, toleranced, you really benefit from the medical aspect of it after a while. You're not getting stoned anymore, but you're smoking oil straight out, straight oil. And it takes maybe 3 or 4 dab hits to get stoned anymore. But it really, your body's benefiting from the medical aspect of the CBD and the THC now, not just CBD. You
Yeah,
have to have that THC, and you have to build up your tolerance so you're not stoned every day. So if you're
Right.
on medical marijuana, guess what? You're not stoned every day. You're going to build up a tolerance, and you're going to have to smoke more or take more. You're going to build. And I think my theory is terpenes will clear that oil residue that leaves in your body. It'll clear your sensors to get stoned again. So the stronger the terpenes, it works to get you higher, and it also works in other benefits
Yeah,
too.
and it enhances it.
Yeah.
It gives out. Reading about it, they like to use it more for the flavoring, and what the guys doing are cutting it down.
Right. There's terp sauce.
So it seems like you're getting a good vape oil, but you're not. You're tasting those terpenes in there, so
Right.
they're cutting it for. But if you find the right guy on the market, you're gonna get some solid goods.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely dig what you guys are doing. I appreciate the time you've taken to go around and discuss it. If there was more people doing shows about it, I mean, we didn't really mean for it to turn into a whole
Cannabis
cannabis,
conversation.
but that's what it is. And you're part of a company that's innovative right now, and where else could we go? I mean, we have to talk about it. You got to talk about your sponsors, so it's a good thing. But
Yeah, as Jason said before I left the state, he's like, you're going out there as not just a term musician, but an ambassador, as a person out there to talk about what's going on in the world. You're going to change people's minds or make them up one way or the other.
Yeah, you have that opportunity to educate someone who might not really know the truth about it, who believes what they see on Facebook or a Fox News site and shit like that, that it kills people. People don't know the truth, and people like us have to get it out there so they know. I mean, a lot of people are against it.
Right.
If I didn't smoke it, I would still, I'm on the fence with everything. I listen to both sides of everything. I'm not one of those guys who just shut it out because I don't agree with it. If you have an opinion, but that's what we struggle with in this country, is everybody thinks they're right and everybody's a know-it-all and everybody's a Facebook doctor and has a PhD in Facebook comments and shit. Meanwhile, it's some fat bitch eating some fucking whole turkey down to the bone, telling you how life is.
Comments.
Yeah, that's it, right.
It's a skill. It's a fucking skill.
Insult people.
Absolutely.
But I mean, that's really what it is. It's a lot of misinformation, and that's rock metal talk. This is the talk part of it. It's we talk about current issues and what's going on. So I mean, people have to be educated on this. It's not what people think it is. People aren't getting fucking stoned. They're going and robbing their neighbor's house for their jewelry and shit. That's
true.
These stories you hear, those people are smoking crystal meth. It may lead into that because, that person might be going on the black. And that's the only reason why it probably shouldn't be on the black market, is that people are going to go buy it and they're going to be like, hey man, I have some cocaine, you want to try it? That, you know, that's the only
gonna be
downside
cut
to
with
that,
something.
but I mean,
The only thing I could see dabs cut with is earwax. I mean, if you get one of those ear candle things to get your earwax out, just put it out there as a good practical joke. I mean,
that's fun.
watch out. That shit happens, man.
That's the bands with this stuff. And there you go.
We lived in a house with 6 guys up there in a 6-bedroom mansion, a 3-story mansion, and that's just the jokes that people get played. That didn't happen to me, thank God. But these are the types of jokes that could happen out there, so you just got to watch out. You know, don't get your dabs cut with earwax.
That's funny. I just read a story about this 80-something-year-old guy who's homeless in like Iraq. This guy hasn't bathed in 60 years, and he smokes a combination of like something that's grown out there and dried up fucking animal feces, and he's like, it's the greatest shit you could ever smoke. I'm like, what?
Wow.
He's actually smoking it. You could probably Google it. I just read it like 2 days ago. But, I mean, that I got an issue with. This guy smoking cow shit. But but in a sense, we probably are too.
Oh, hey, Jason.
I'm sorry.
If anybody likes mushrooms, cow shit.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, we probably eat it all the time, so what the hell is the difference? But this guy's still living. I mean, you would expect the guy doesn't shower in 60 years. I mean, you could tell he didn't shower. This shit was for real, but...
Well, ask Jason how often I shower when I got stoned out there.
I know how much.
Radio show
That's
after
funny.
the shower.
But yeah, we're running way off track here on time. So I appreciate you taking the time, Jason, to give us a call and talk with us on the air. We're gonna do it again. If you want to set something up, you know, and have something a little more planned, and we can get the discussion out there further. We'll definitely set that up.
Yeah, we'll get into that, Jay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we just wanted to get you on. Somehow you came up, and I said, one of the guys sent me a message so you guys can talk on the air about this, so we figured we'd get you on the air real quick. But I appreciate you taking the time to call in, and Yoshi, I appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I got to play a couple more tracks here and then move into the Prickly Rickley segment. And Cats and Yama's back on the show. He took a few months off, and he's back with his opinions. Prickly Ricky. I'm Prickly Rickley.
Prickly Rickley! That doesn't have the same ring to it. Prickly Rickley!
It don't, but it's still funny. He got his name because of Cats and Yama talking about him on the air. He used to be Picky Ricky because he did the independent picks. And this guy's like, Prickly Rickley's coming on that, so it just stuck. So we just named them Prickly Rickley. It's just easier that way. But again, Jason, thanks. He hung up, so he's out. And thanks for coming in, Yoshi. Appreciate you guys stopping in. It's great to see you. It's been a long time, and we'll play some Fire Sphere.
Thanks
here.
for listening, guys.
Thanks, man. Here's Fire Sphere. I don't know the name of the track because these guys didn't label the songs properly, but they're
ID3s, guys. ID3s are a new wave of the future. They'll figure it out.
all right. You guys have a good one, and I'll be back in just a few minutes.
My flesh so cold, my heart so black. I lost my soul. No turning back. I pray to God, sign of the cross, fall to my knees. Oh,
You're listening to the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com.
All right, welcome back. We're going to go into the Prickly Rickley segment here. Thanks for tuning in. We got Cats and Yammer coming up after that. So we'll discuss more about the stuff I missed next week on the air, because I got a whole list of shit I didn't get to talk about, and the compilation. So I want to thank everybody for participating tonight, and here's Prickly Rickley, Jay Stone, rockmetaltalk.com.
If you spit in my face and smack me in the mouth and throw me in solitary confinement for nothing, what do you think's going to happen when I get out of here? Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people, then I would have done better. History is my will. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
I worship the ground you walked on for so long that I forgot who I was. But now I can see where I belong now.
What's up? It's Prickly Rickly here at the Jay Stone Show, rockmetaltalk.com. Man, got a lot to talk about. The rockmetaltalk.com, or the Rock Metal Talk compilation that's coming out later this year. Whole bunch of fucking badass bands. Man, I wish I can just get into more in depth, but Jay's still working on it and all that good stuff. But yeah, shit. What you just heard was one of my old bands, and yes, that's me on the vocals. Might be a shock, but anybody that knows me has heard me sing and scream and growl and yell and all that bullshit. But anyway, I just wanted to open the show with that track because that's one of my favorite fucking songs from back in the day when I was in a band called Karmageddon. That is a karma with a gettin'. Texas slang for getting, whatever. But anyway, you can look it up. It's on YouTube. I think it's still on iTunes and Amazon Music and all that shit. I don't know. I don't keep track of it anymore. I don't really talk to those guys anymore, only because I think it's better that we are just ex-friends and things like that. Yeah. It didn't end well. And it's mostly on my part because back then I was a alcoholic. Once an alcoholic, always one. But back then, I would post shit and stuff like that, and it made my former bandmates dislike me. I haven't talked to them in quite a long time, even though my friend, or not my friend, but my old bass or guitar player, Nathan, his father passed away in late October, early November. I wanted to reach out to him because, he is a friend of mine, and, we've been through some stuff together, he and I, but and my friend Kim, which you guys have, have gotten to and listened to her presence on the show. She tried to get me to go out to I guess it's kind of like a funeral, but it's not a funeral because he was cremated and everything. And I just told Kim, I said, I think it'd be better if I just, I paid my respects through phone or a letter. I think that where all of us are right now, I don't think that we need to be face to face, because some of that anger and things are still going to be there, and I don't want to, because I was much of an instigator, because whenever we hang out after practicing and stuff, I would drink too much and I would just become this raging asshole. I even tried to stab Nathan for a birthday celebration that they all put on for me, and it was only because I started drinking all this liquor and shit. I want to say that it was called Brownies or something like that, but anyway, I respect my old bandmates enough to know that I'm the problem, so I'll stay away. But my condolences, my prayers, my everything goes out to my former guitar player Nathan. Pops was a badass guy. He supported Nathan. It's really hard for me to speak and not get choked up because I'm trying so hard not to. But anyway, yeah, what you just heard was my old band Carmageddon, and our song "The Greatest Revenge" from our album "When It Comes Around." If you want a copy of it, just message me and I'll send you a copy. Next, I'm going to play a couple of fucking tunes, man. It's pretty badass because they're new to me. First, I'm going to play some brand new We Are the Flesh. And if any of you motherfuckers remember, just a few weeks ago, I interviewed these cats. They're from Los Angeles, California. And I've grown a liking to them. Is that a southern term? Liking? I sure did like them boys. Sorry, don't mean to make that sound all, not, whatever. I'm just fucking with you guys. Anyway, We Are the Flesh, they sent me their brand new single, Burdens. I saw on YouTube, although I've been very fucking busy lately, or I would have already had this song, but I wanted to wait for them to send me the song. I've seen the video. I dig this song very, 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 very much. These guys are fucking badass, man. I don't understand why some type of label hasn't picked them up. But you know what? Fuck a label. Do it yourself. Shit. I mean, fucking when Chimera came out with This Present Darkness album, they weren't even signed to a label, and they still sold 60,000 copies, and it still went with the whole bar scan and all that shit. This Present Darkness got them signed to Roadrunner. Roadrunner at the time also signed Nickel Crack, and that is what fucked that whole label up. Because if you remember in the early 80s, to mid 90s, Roadrunner was the premier metal label. As soon as they signed Nickel Crack and Slipknot, which I like Slipknot, but Slipknot lost their fucking edge, man. I mean, if you listen to anything from now Slipknot to 1999 Slipknot, you'll hear the total fucking difference. But anyway, and after We Are the Freak, we're going to listen to Wake Up by Isolated Antagonist. And I will tell you right now, before I even talk to the dude that sent me the track, let me see if I can find his name. I want to say it starts with a G. I know it starts with a fucking G. Hold on a second. A lot of shit today, man. Work and everything. It's killing me, yo. Plus, I think I'm getting sick, which sucks for me, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, Glenn Mitchell. I'm assuming he's in this band, Isolated Antagonist. And I was because I was listening to the album and I was like, fuck. And I was telling Jay, man, this sounds a lot like, you know, old school Fear Factory. The way everything is, you know, constructed and put together and everything like that. And Jay was like, yeah, I got the same type of feeling. Well, you know, I relayed that to Glenn, and apparently, well, I guess it's not an apparently, it's fact. Christian Old Walbers from the old school era of Fear Factory is the bass player on said album that was sent to me. Man, and that is fucking badass. It was cool because I don't know if it was meant, like they meant for it to sound like that, but either way, I caught on to it. And I was rooting for Christian when he went and, you know, tried to, because, you know, Christian also transferred from bass to guitar in later Fear Factory albums. And then he went and tried out for Machine Head. Well, Rob Flynn's a douchebag, but anyway, he didn't get that gig. But man, this is cool. I'm very excited to listen to, you know, stuff like this, because Fear Factory, when they came out with A Solo of a New Machine, that was something that was untouchable, at least in my eyes and my ears. Where Dino and Burton went from now, I wasn't a big fan of Genesis. I thought that was some repetitive shit. I'd have liked to thought that was the new Divine, whatever the fuck that band name is, Dino's other project or whatever. But anyway, I really, 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 really dig this fucking album, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, Isolated Antagonist, check it out. And yeah, so I'm gonna play their song Wake Up, and I'll be back in just a few fucking minutes. Here it is. Burdens, We Are the Flesh. Prickly Rickley, The Jay Stone Show, rockmetaltalk.com.
The greatest burdens are the ones we create, and in the end we decide our own fucking fate. If you don't believe me, try it my way. Put the gun to your head, pull the trigger, and begging for pity, drowning in weakness.
scorched earth cries at death from the skies. When scorched earth cries at death from the skies.
Hey, hell yeah, man. Didn't you guys hear the similarity in the sounds from the old school Fear Factory, man? It's still a trip that Christian from the old school lineup is playing bass on that track, man. That's something fucking cool. I'm gonna have to learn more about Isolated Antagonist, catch up with some of their other music and stuff like that. But anyway, I really, really, really dug that fucking song, man. And before that, you heard Burdens from We Are the Flesh, and I'm so sorry, guys, that I accidentally called you We Are the Freak, which is a cool name as well. But I was actually reading something, and as I said your name, I read the word freak, and it just came out like that. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Please don't be upset. But yes, it's We Are the Flesh. You can find them in my my Facebook likes, and yeah, you can just Google their name or YouTube it, whichever, and you'll hear it. Or go on to iTunes and hit We Are the Flesh. Give them a like, man. Go and check them out. Really talented dudes from California. I can't wait to hear more fucking tunes from these cats, man. They're badass. Yeah, so I'm keeping it short, 40 minutes or less. We got Cats and Yama back, and everything's all fucking cool. So I'm excited about that. I miss that guy. He has some very opinionated, opinions, and some people apparently don't like it. Well, so he has the right, just like you do, to have an opinion about things that you may disagree with or don't like. I don't know what makes your opinion much better than his, because, this is America. Land of the free speech. So, but yeah, in the old words, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. I'm not calling you an asshole, cat, so don't think that I am. I'm just making a point. People need to stop being so fucking sensitive and, kind of embrace individuals' opinions versus shutting down their opinion because you don't fucking believe in it. That's why it's called a discussion or a conversation. You discuss things. Try to understand the other side. That's how conversations go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and recommend a video for most of you. I know most that tune into this this channel or this radio show does not listen to rap music. If you do, then cool. That means that you're not, tunnel visioned or whatever. You have an open mind for everything. Go on YouTube and look up this song. I don't remember the guy's full name. I know it's Joyner. That's the first name, I believe. But look up the song I'm Not Racist. It's on both sides of the table, with a white guy and a black guy, where the white guy is giving his opinions about what he sees going on in the black community and how he feels about it, and then the black guy gives him his opinion about it because the white guy wants to know his side of the story. It's a really fucking interesting video, man. Go check it out. It's called I'm Not Racist. It's really, really, really cool, man, and it's just the way that it's all set up and shit. It's really cool. So to any of you people that don't want to necessarily hear what the opposing party is saying, maybe this will kind of open your fucking eyes up a little bit to the whole term of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of opinion. If everybody thought the same, then this world would be boring. You know what I mean? There would be no difference. There would be no individuality. Even though, some people say that the world is divided. It's really not, man. The same shit's been going on forever, except that this generation has taken it a little bit more far extreme than previous generations. And that's on both fucking sides of the playing field here. Except for Antifa. Antifa can go smuck a fucking donkey dick for all I give a shit. Them are some goddamn cowards, and they know they're cowards. And, yeah, so fuck Antifa. I'll tell you and your mama and your mama's mama and your baby mama and all the other mamas that's involved with you little fucks. Y'all a bunch of spoiled white rich kids. Have you ever noticed that? I hardly ever see people of color in Antifa. I see mostly spoiled white rich kids because they think that they're doing something. No, mommy and daddy's paying your fucking way, you little bastards. God damn, just put a gun in your mouth and shoot your fucking self because you're a waste of fucking life. But anyway, so I'm going to play 3 more tunes and then I'm out of here. First up, I'm going to play a song I haven't played since 2002. I haven't been on radio since 2002. I haven't really played this CD since 2002 when I did a couple shows with these guys back in the day. Anyway, the song's called Hate Them in Return by the band Grain. They're from the DFW area. Really cool guys. I believe they're still together. I don't know. I know they have a Facebook page, so I'm going to tag them when I here in a bit when I post the bands that I'm playing tonight. Maybe they'll listen in and shit. And then at the end of my segment, I'm going to play Summer Breeze and Set Me on Fire by Typo Negative in tribute to Peter Steele, who would have been 56 years old this week on January 4th. That was his birthday, and man, he was a talented cat. Even though he liked to sit there and say that his band was talentless and all this shit, man. Them motherfucker, they were the first top-selling Roadrunner record act. They were the first band on Roadrunner Records to get a platinum-selling album. That's how talentless they are. You bastard. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm playing. If you are listening and if you or you know someone that's in a band, have them send me their music. Pelebag, PALEBAG @gmail.com. That's Prickly Rickly's personal email that I get from where I give bands and band contacts and managers and shit like that. That's where they have to send me music or interview details and shit like that. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. This isn't a very long one like you guys are used to. Gonna cut it down because Cats and Yama's back. Yama. Anyway, Prickly Rickly, I'm out. Here it is, Hate Them in Return by Dallas Fort Worth's Grain. Later.
Oh yeah.
And now, it's time. Because it's not the Cats and Yamas segment on the J Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com. I'm back. Cats and Yamas back in the house. First episode of 2018. And my new thesis, welcome to the revolution. That's why we're going to start off with a little Queensryche. The revolution has begun, folks. And if you don't believe so, I'm going to prove it. It's a soft revolution to start off with, to say the least. It's not like we're in up in arms and everything. But we're getting there. Let's do a recap. Normally, when I decide that I'm going to go from a new job to a new career because I have a lot of interests. I've had my share of careers. I've always been an artist. I've always been a musician. But I also became, as you all know, stockbroker for many years. I learned a lot there. Learned about this Clinton agenda, which really started this socialism. And that's why I say welcome to the revolution. It's been a soft, ongoing thing for years. Now, the reason why I say, at least in the corporate America, you can tell, is because guys like me, we don't get pushed out the door. We're usually a very, very, very valuable asset to any company that'll have us. We're go-getters like myself. We're not like you snowflakes. And you snowflakes are just heightening this revolution that's begun because of the Clinton agenda, the beginning of it. Thank God, though, Trump is in there. And as you can tell, he still can't be bought. And that's what we need. Who do you trust when everyone's a crook? Now, on one side of the coin, the tax law that went into effect is going to help a lot of these big companies that are liberal-based. But the majority of our country is built on small businesses. And they're going to benefit as well. But you can even already tell, as soon as it went into law, AT&T gave everybody raises and bonuses and all that kind of stuff. Pardon me, I'm kind of getting my shit together today. But there is a revolution. And if you notice, when you're working for the corporate America, they've got you micromanaged to the nth degree. And I'll give you an example. It's all been a roller coaster year for me. Last December, as you know, I got pushed out the door because some of these little crybabies didn't like the fact that I was like, what are you working on? Let's go, let's get it done. And they didn't like the tone. But a boss isn't supposed to be there to be a friend. He's supposed to be there to say, I need you to do this. I'm going to pay you, but I need you to do this. But they don't like being told. Well, as you know, I got pushed out the door. 2 weeks later, that little fucker, he quit. Who cares where he is now? But I went to one place, man, micromanaged to the nth degree. I worked for a company, RV, Red Venture. I got in bed saying about it, you know, if you don't know your stuff, they'll teach you. But on the first day that I put on the floor, I did it the way I know how to do it. Like I said, I can sell ice cream to an Eskimo if I needed to. I got on the phone for half a day. I took 8 phone calls. I closed 7 of them. And if I had that first guy able to stick around just a little bit longer, he would have closed too. And it would have been 8 for 8. I had an 87% close ratio. But as soon as we started to micromanage and micromanage and micromanage and coach and coach and coach and coach and coach and coach, maybe out of 30 phone calls, I closed 3. Okay? Is that me? I don't think so. That's your liberal corporate agenda telling you what they want you to do. And guess what? If you don't meet the numbers, they push you out the fucking door. Now, I went from there, and I got, you know, a job at a place that I like, an arena I like to do, which is the sign business. I love the sign business. Got a salary I was looking for. Wasn't the top pay, but it wasn't the bottom pay. It was something that I can try to get a little ahead, and I wasn't being greedy about it. Well, because of all this crybaby shit, the higher-ups are getting tired of it. They are getting tired of it. But they still want these results. Okay? And that's the problem. You can't keep on beating somebody over the fucking head, micromanage the nth degree out of them, and get results all the time. Well, the owner of this company, he had all his eggs in one basket doing sign work for other sign companies, and he pissed the guy off somehow. I got laid off. Why? Because there's no work. Now, luckily, in a couple of days, I found another sign company. I happened to walk in at the right time. They weren't happy with somebody that, you know, they had that said he could do what he said he could do, and he couldn't. And 2 days later, I got a different job. But I also took a third of a pay cut. And now, this owner, great guy. This is a great company, by the way. You know, I had to take it because unemployment wasn't going to pay my bills. But he's at a point where he had to go through 6, 7, 8 guys in a year. And they lost money that year because of training. And these guys couldn't do what they said they can do. And they were all young. Now, I'm not a young guy. I'm 51. And so the revolution has begun. And when you look at what's going on in Venezuela, it's sad. They can't even get bread. They can't even get electric. They wait online to get food from the government because they promised that socialism was going to be so great. It always sounds great in the beginning because you libtard, millennial crybabies and those, I hate to freaking say this, but the black community, big problem. You're a big fucking problem. And this isn't a white supremacist thesis. This is, and I'm going to tell you why. But it's a big problem because you want the handouts. You like the handouts. But just as anything, if I saw this the other day, if you put a guy on the moon and he's sitting there doing push-ups, there's no resistance. these muscles are going to go for shit. They're not going to work as well. You got to work the muscle. You got to get in there. And so what's happening is this lackadaisical kind of mindset that nobody wants to go out there and work for a living. And so guys like me, I got to walk on eggshells and make sure I cross the T's and dot the I's. I got to micromanage myself in an arena where the boss says, I'm not going to micromanage. I'm going to show you once. I'm going to show you twice. The third time I got to show you, unless it's a real difficult task, there's the door. Now, the great thing about this new place is I'm working for a company, and I think one of the first things he asked me was, because he says, we're a concealed carry here. And I said, oh, okay. Well, me too. I'm a concealed carry. And I don't walk anywhere, even in my own house, because I don't know who's knocking on my door. I stay protected. But he asked me, you know, we're a concealed carry. And I said, great, excellent. So I know I'm in the right place. I'm also knowing in the right place that after a week, I got a $200 Christmas bonus. And this is before Trump announced he's putting the tax bill into place. So I know I'm with good people, and I was like floored because the guy I was working for that moved the shop from the Charlotte area to where I am in Gastonia, which is why I moved to Gastonia, he didn't even give the guy that he has there a Christmas bonus. Every other word is GD this and GD that. I got news for you. You don't say God's name in blasphemy. You don't do that. Okay? That's another problem. We're going to talk about that too. Now, today's just going to be kind of a summary, and we're going to see as we go episode after episode of what I'm talking about, that we're in a revolution. But the black community are a problem. You don't want to work. And you need to earn your keep. You are pillaging this country. And you all think that Obama's so great. Well, guess what? The stock market was like 7,700 when Obama was there. It's now like 20-something thousand now with Trump. Why? Because he got rid of all of those executive orders, all that red tape, all that micromanaging that now corporate America and even the small businesses are doing, and having a zero tolerance that the economy is booming. Now that he's put this tax plan into place, we're going to see more results. But Obama tripled the deficit. Tripled the deficit. And Trump is nipping it in the butt. You may not like this guy. You may not like what he says. You might not like what I say. Too bad. The truth needs to be told. So enough of the raping and pillage of our country. It's bad enough we're in a soft revolution as it is. And we have to fight for just mediocre, jobs. And I'm not saying the job is mediocre, but the pay is mediocre. Okay? So besides the fact the black community doesn't want to work, you've got it so ingrained that you think you own everything. I'm going to give you another example. All I wanted to do yesterday was take care of some of my laundry. I wanted to go to the laundromat, read my Bible, let the machine do its rollabout, mind my own freaking business. But again, I'm in a black community. I'm like 1 out of every 20. That's the ratio here. Okay? So I'm the minority. And I'm getting disrespected. Now granted, I don't really get disrespected, but you can tick me the fuck off. And if I say curse words, sorry God, you created everything. It's just an adjective. So my laundry's going round and round, and when I sit down, there's a thug sitting there smoking a cigarette inside. Now, I thought the law was you're not supposed to smoke indoors in a public business. Now, I can understand, like, a shop environment, like, a garage or, something of that ilk. I get that. But this is an enclosed laundromat. Now, I'm not going to start anything, but I have to now sit all the way over here because it's going to screw up my breathing because of my asthma. Another reason why I haven't really toured or tried to entertain being a lead vocalist, even though I want to try. So I'm on my own business, and I'm sitting there. My clothes are finally washed. I go and I put them in the dryer. So now I'm like a magnet for some reason. I go in a place that's empty, and for some reason people just after the fact just start jumping in, and it gets busy. So now it's one black individual after the next black individual after the next black, and now the place is swamped. Okay, there's no more machines. People are fucking lining up to try to get their laundry in. And so, again, now I see this little black woman. Can't be more than, 5'3", old, not too old, but she's not working. There's no freaking way. She don't look the part, because there are some black individuals that do work. You can tell, they dress a little nicer, or they're cleaning their scrubs because they're in the medical field. She looked like she was schlepping and fetching it. Okay. And she's sitting there freaking puffing away, and I'm like, this is just disgusting. So, my clothes are just about done drying, and I'm standing in front of the machine, and here she is, she's fucking puffing away, and she's just like blowing it in my area, and I said, kindly, would you mind, don't blow the smoke over here? And she turns to me and goes, you own the place? I kind of got floored. My only response was, because I've been reading my Bible, I go, do you believe in God? And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. She goes, are you the boy? Do you own this place? I go, never mind. And I walk over there. Now, I was going to take my clothes out, had about 2 minutes left. I said, you know what? All quarters. Because maybe she's looking for a dryer now. And I ain't giving it up right away. Well, then she proceeds to go to the next black person and tell them, you see this guy? You see this guy? He thinks he owns the place. And she's And then she goes to the next black guy, and she does that to him. And then she goes to the next black guy, and she tells it to him. And then she goes to the next black guy, the thug over there, tells him. And then by the time she gets over there, now you know what? I'm not even going to sit there and fold my clothes, because I don't want your disgusting cigarette breath on the clean clothes I just finished. So I'm just shoving it in the bag. I'm not even bothering. I don't give a fuck. She comes back around, and now she's talking to the person who runs the place, who happened to be white, complaining about me. Because all I asked her, very nicely, if she could not blow the smoke in my face. So I got the bag on my back, and I see her talking. And inside me wonders, you little piece of fucking garbage. I walked up and I said, this woman is full of you-know-what? And I looked at the woman and I said, I hope God has mercy on your soul. Because even on the 10 Commandments, treat others like you would like to be treated. These people don't even consider the fact that there are other people there. It's kind of like when you bring your crazy children, to the supermarket or to the movies. Some courtesy here. It's like they don't give a shit. It's like they think they own the whole freaking thing because they feel like, it's given to them. It's theirs. Why? Because the government keeps on giving it to them. So Trump, get rid of all these programs. You're unemployed? Do like what you did to me. Offer me $280 a week after I've been working at a decent salary, and that's all you're going to give me so I can eat? Who the fuck's going to be able to eat off of that? I got rent, I got electric, I got gas, I got food, insurance for the car, pay for the car, clean my clothes. Do the math. Even if you consolidate all your bills, it adds up. And $280 a week is not going to do it. That's why I took the other job right away. It was still better than unemployment. And do you see what I'm talking about? Mindset? I don't want to take the handout. I want to go out there and work for it. So we need to fix these things. Get rid of all these social programs. The only social programs that there should be is for the elderly. And you know what that is? Social Security. Fix it. The government should be able to surplus that. Why do I know this? Because I work for a private equity firm that used to buy treasury bills. The U.S. Treasury gives it at a discount. A deep, deep discount. Like 50 cents on the dollar discount. And they farm it out to the retailers. And then they mark it up. And then they sell it to you, the community. So when you're buying it for 80 cents to $1, right? Because par is $1. And if it's above par, that means you're... I'm not even going to get into investing education. But the bottom line is, they could surplus that. Medicare and the health for the elderly, Medicare and such. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's all the social programs that are necessary. No Planned Parenthood. If you want to have your vagina banged by a penis, and you're taking the risk of getting pregnant, it shouldn't be my fucking problem. My tax dollars paying for your killing. If you don't want the child, give it up for adoption. There's plenty of people who make a lot of money who can't have children that would love to adopt a child. And then you can go on trying to live your life. But no. You got 5 daddies, 1 baby mama, living off the social BS and raping and pillage my country. We are in a revolution, people. And we need to get to stop that. We gotta stop it. So, last night, after I did my laundry and took it back home, try to recompose myself, reflect back on my book, the Bible. Tell Jesus I'm sorry for my sins. God, please, I'm always going to sin. We're all going to sin. Have mercy. But even God, even Jesus believes in capitalism. Capitalism is the most moralistic thing out there. Okay? And we're not talking about crony capitalism, and you know what that is. Crony capitalism is when you've got a guy selling, let's say, bread at one place for $4, and another guy selling bread at $5, but the government buys it from the guy from $5 because that guy told the guy, well, you know, I'll make sure that I have my people vote for whatever you want and all that stuff, and you got all these hands, and we got to get rid of that too. Trump, you better get rid of that stuff too, that crony capitalism, because that's killing us too. Okay? But I can't even go into get gas without some Sputnik eyeing me up to try to ask me for fucking money. And you want to know why I have to carry? Because I don't know what that guy's going to do. And that's what's happening here. This stuff wasn't this bad back in the day. I lived in Queens. I used to have to go through Jamaica every day. The black folk never bothered me. Ever. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on, bro? Now? Hey, you think you could... I have to put my hands up right away. And as I even get close to someone, once I get in a vocal distance, I pretty much just say, stay away from me, back it up. And I do it in that tone. Back it up. Now at 2 o'clock in the morning, actually I think it was 11:30 that I was hungry. This is 11:30 at night. You know, I had my vest on and everything because I don't know. Somebody could stab you. You know, at least I have that protection. And I hear gunshots going off all the time. Okay? So, if you folks don't think that there's a revolution going on, there is. And we got to stop it. We have to stop it. In the meantime, folks, best you get your protection set up. I'm trying to save up so I can get some, what do they call that? Food surplus. God forbid. Because remember, if we go to the point where we have to rely on the government for everything, the government's not going to give us anything. And as a matter of fact, they're going to take away. Remember, Nazi Germany. Hitler promised everybody great education, etc., etc. But he duped them all. He duped them all. And you need to do some research on that. Look at Venezuela. Look at what's going on in Paris. Look at what's going on in Austria. Look at what's going on in Greece, in Spain. These countries are bankrupt because they let all these immigrants in and they're going the socialistic way. And they're killing themselves. And when you want a great example, North Korea, South Korea. North Korea, communist. South Korea, democratic. North Korea, the poorest country in the fucking world. South Korea, one of the richest countries in the world. You're not going to tell me that everybody's bitching and moaning in the richest country in the world, even those who can't provide for themselves. It's called those who are lucky enough to be successful enough to have bounty. You go back to the Bible and you give back to your fellow man. That's being Christian, godly. It's being good. Has nothing to do with hate. And then in that scenario, when you have countries that have surplus, then you have private entities based on contributions from the rich people who get to write that off. Fantastic. And then they get to fund these programs, private programs, not government programs. And then they can help people, whether it's a healthcare system, or a soup kitchen, or a church being able to house homeless for a night, like what I used to do back when I was in Charlotte, and go there Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day they're doing it now, and set up the tables and give them a good meal, and set up a mattress with clean sheets and a pillow so they can sleep in a warm environment for the night, and maybe watch a little bit of TV, and then get up in the morning and have a full breakfast before they go back out on the street. Now, some people are out there are there by choice. And you know what? Those people are going to be the last ones standing. Those people are going to be the last ones standing. So I'm telling you, as the first episode of It's Not the Cats and Yama segment on the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com, I say welcome to the revolution. And we're going to continue to talk about these things and what you can do to help get this country back on its feet. We got to do it from within. It can't be just Trump. Trump is doing his best, and he's got to handle the Pelosi's and the Chuck Schumer schmucks and the Wieners and the Hillarys and the Obama-nots. Okay, people who are trying to bring us down. Okay, and remember what Obama said, that you all got fooled on. We're just days away from the transformation of the United States of America. And for 8 years, they have shoved this socialism BS down all of your throats. And I talk to you millennials because you millennials, all you've been heard is this crap, which started with the Clintons. And Bush was too weak to even do anything. They probably, and I'm pretty sure about it, instigating the 9/11, because I still think that's rigged from the inside. The liberals set that up, and Bush was the deer in the headlights. The only thing he could do is go, okay, let's go shoot some Iraqians. And meanwhile, the ISIS grew and grew and grew and grew. And our borders got looser and looser and looser. And the drugs came in more and more and more. And the sanctuary cities became more involved in harboring more of these criminal individuals from other countries that don't have any papers, who are not here legal, who are taking advantage of our system. And we got stuck with the Obamacare and couldn't afford insurance, but we got fined if we didn't have it. Tell me that's American. Hell no. Hells no. Welcome to the revolution, people. Make sure you're cocked and loaded. Yeah, I keep my gun loaded. I'm Katsunyama. You can hear my music at katsunyama.com, KATZINJAMMA.com. Tune in to the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com. And we're going to talk about our rights next time out. Because if we don't have our First Amendment, most importantly our Second Amendment to protect our First Amendment, truth can't be said. As in Venezuela, they're in jail. Anybody who speaks the truth is in jail. How would you like to be in jail because you spoke the truth? Yama. Yama.
It's the Jay Stone, it's the Jay Stone Radio Show, Jay Stone Radio Show.